What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Nick at Noon. It is Friday. It is Friday. I am so glad it is Friday. Not because it's just going to be a chill stream. We've got some cool topics and some funny videos I thought I'd go over. I don't know if I'm going to include this sort of FAFO segment at the end just to maybe have some laughs, but yeah, there's some interesting things that have been kind of on my mind. Haven't really talked about with too many people. Obviously concerning being a gamer and the video game world. So it's interesting, but I appreciate you guys being here. And already in the chat, you guys are awesome. What's up, Mad Dog? What's up? I figured I'd pop back in. The tagline piqued my interest. I don't care about all the Pragmata discourse, but Black Fight I loved, and I'm interested in. Plus, I have a couple questions. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Am I watching Invincible? I love it. Animation clearly sucks, but the story's awesome. Also, what do you think about Daredevil and Maul? I've been watching. Waiting to hear. Heard mixed on Maul. Yeah. So I am watching. I'm watching all these shows, right? Like on the back end, I have been watching Maul, Daredevil, Invincible, and The Boys. Obviously we're not really talking about them on streams with anywhere else, but and I'm not making videos of it. So, I figure to talk about those shows, these Friday at noon type of streams would probably be the best location to talk about them. And if I clip segments out of it, then so be it. Yeah. So just to kind of answer your question, Mad Dog, it reminds me of Mad Dog Biff Tannen from Back to the Future 3. Yeah, I don't know if that's what it is, but anyway, I haven't watched the most recent episode of Daredevil. I'm a little behind in a couple episodes, which I'm gonna try and catch up on this week or weekend. Daredevil has been interesting, and I know the last episode I watched was the diner episode with what's his face? Bullseye. Poindexter, killing the people, the Punisher officers, right? And there's just something about the show that I don't know loses like the context of focus for being all about Daredevil. I don't know. I think I saw that Jessica Jones comes back in the most recent episode, so I think based on what I've seen so far, it doesn't. I think it still pales in comparison to the Netflix seasons, right? Like Netflix's Daredevil's 1, 2, and 3 is far better than what we're getting with this, Daredevil Reborn. They're certainly trying, and I feel like this second season they've tried to amp up like the violence and the fighting. But dare I say the choreography from the Netflix series is still better than what we're getting in Daredevil. And I know that the tagline is sort of like Daredevil bored again. And that, listen, it's not far off course. There is a lot of boring parts about this show, and they're trying to give us more Karen, which, yeah, I love that. But it doesn't feel like the same Karen that we got in the Netflix series. This is the Disney rendering, which is just not very good. So I'm gonna try and catch up by next week. And then obviously whenever the show's done, or the season's done, I'll probably do like a more hard review, like on a Friday stream about it. So, and then in Invincible, I'm 2 episodes behind in Invincible. So, the last episode I saw was when, Thrag and company, attack the coalition. And then, Mark, Oliver and Nolan or Omni-Man go and kind of help save the day. Right. And they have to retreat. So I know I'm 2 episodes behind on Invincible. So I've not watched like the season finale and the episode before that. So the penultimate. And I have not read any of the comic books for Invincible, and I've been told, yeah, just read the comic books instead. And from what I've seen, we're about halfway through the comics now. So, and I think Robert Kirkman also has said that they want to do somewhere between 7 and 9 seasons, which I guess if we're halfway through the comics, that seems plausible. Now, will it be good is another story. Because yeah, like I agree, the animation is just not good, and it's not good compared to the first season, which is just unfortunate. You know, you're paying all these voice actors money, and there's nothing wrong with some of these voice actors too. Like I think when you're getting some big name actors out there to do the roles, that's fine. I think some roles might have been just a little miscast. Like for example, Lee Pace is great. I think and like Lee Pace is one of those actors that can just command a room and like has a nice presence to him. Um, but I almost envisioned Thrag to have more of a more granular, a deeper, commanding voice. Lee Pace doesn't have a deep voice, but I'm enjoying the story still. Like I know that there's some sus things to happen between Anissa and Invincible, so we'll see if they show that. I am going to be very curious, and unless that was one of those part of one of those 2 episodes. Now I have seen and I knew already about it because it was a spoiler about what Eve does with the baby she didn't tell Mark they were pregnant with. So yeah, kind of interesting topic there, but I'll dive into that next week more. But Seabra, what's going on, my dude? The nooner with Nick. Shit, cuh. I said forget about it, cuh. Waylon, how you doing, man? Did you get some sleep last night after partaking in some Buffalo Trace? Yeah, what's up, Ronan? How you doing, man? Slow AF work day. Boss ain't in, so my workmate and I are pretty much just hanging out, dude. Those are some of the best days, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie. So, yeah. 410s grocery shopping day. Oh man, that's the best. What the heck? No 20-minute intro. Yeah, I don't have any sort of video played for or created for this, but maybe in the future, of course, maybe down the line, I'll do like a special Fridays introduction. But yeah, I'm excited for the Black Flag remake. Yeah, we're gonna get into it, absolutely. And yes, wait for what's going on, dude. Be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. It's free. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and I try to give some good content. For the great disturbance in the force. Never mind. It's just a notification from Nick on YouTube's. Yeah, apparently last night, I think it was Shippy tuned in. Or no, it was either Shippy or Molly when I was playing some Sea of Thieves into Crimson Desert last night. I think you popped in too. And like freaking YouTube's not giving notifications anymore. I don't know if I'm being throttled or what, but YouTube doesn't like to help out small streamers, little bastards. They're gonna detect that in their AI like 9 minutes into this segment and be like, oh, we gotta throttle him. Yeah, throttle this. No, I won't say that. I'm not willing because Ubisoft is dead. Isn't Tencent getting money from the Black Flag remake? What are you, chicken? You yella? Nobody calls me yella. Let's make like a tree and get out of here. I love Back to the Future, man. Boosh! What's going on, dude? Hope you're well. When the show's done, I want to binge because I'm excited for Punisher special. Hope they don't nerf him. Yeah, you know what's that? That's May 12th. So I might do like I'll probably talk about it on stream. I may do like a video review on that as well. So we shall see. Episode 7 will change your mind on Thrag opinion. Okay, good. I'm glad we're having this discussion. So they're gonna handle that scene very poorly. I guarantee it. Oh, dude, I'm sure it's not gonna be done very well. And I think that's gonna be one of those make or break moments of the show. But Kirkwood said he wanted Thrag to feel calm because being the most powerful person alive, you wouldn't be scared at all. I mean, that's That's a fair assessment. I mean, I guess you could almost say like, is that why Superman never like raises his voice or doesn't like get angry to that extent? Maybe, you know, um, although and this is probably not a well, maybe this is a good comparison. Think about Darkseid, right, from DC. Like he's, unstoppable. You can't really beat him unless certain, uh, certain topics or certain people, whatever, come into play, right? So there's certain scenarios line up, and there's really like no like hard defeat for Darkseid. So I wonder, the voice actor who does Darkseid's animations in the DC animated movies, he definitely has like a really deep tone of voice, which I'd say for the sake of, does that translate well to Thrag? Maybe. And again, like I understand like the case of saying like it's not a super deep voice, but it'd be like saying I don't consider myself to have a very deep voice compared to like maybe other people that I stream with, for example, or I know that are out there with in the voice acting realm. Um, but if I were to play a character that was just like nigh killable, like or just like just you couldn't kill him and you can't be defeated or the most powerful, then that's what he sounded like. I'm like, well, I guess it kind of makes sense because why the hell would I be afraid of anyone else? But um got me some sleep. I went to bed late last night and I woke up feeling like I needed some coffee. Sleep, what's that? I recommend watching episode 7 right after the stream, one of my top 5 of the whole show. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got some time between over the weekend, then I got a couple movies to watch as well, but and Monday stream to prep for, but I will definitely watch probably both this weekend for sure. Your voice isn't as deep as Gourd King's. I think what you're trying to say, Booch, is my voice isn't as deep as Leon's, right? Or perhaps, you know what? Guys, my voice is clearly not as deep as Cinevere's. Sorry to say. I know. Disappointing. But yeah, there's it's been an interesting week. I've been a PC gamer for quite some time now. I think I've always been a PC gamer. Like I've been playing PC games, God, I don't know, since the 90s, essentially. So, and granted, yes, there have been consoles out since the 90s, which I've played and owned as well, like Nintendo, Game Boy, more handheld, but Sega, PlayStation, Xbox. But admittedly, my last console that I've purchased was the original Xbox One. And I've not purchased a console since then. And I think it was probably around that same time where I was playing both, right? Like I was playing a slew of PC games at the time, even when the Xbox One came out. But granted, I was probably had a lot more time to do both. But honestly, it was probably after Halo 5 came out that I stopped really playing Xbox games. Xbox Game Pass wasn't around. I'd say for the argument of what was better around that time, unless you're like big into League of Legends or World of Warcraft, or Counter-Strike, I don't think there were a ton of games that were like super, super, super popular, that really had a strong, like commanding presence, compared to Xbox or PlayStation games. So I think down that time, like console gaming was fantastic. The console wars were great to do and to have arguments about, and with all the nerds and fandoms and everything like that. But I'd say around that time I was like, I'm really just kind of solely, strictly being into PC gaming, and then I haven't really turned back since then. I've just built multiple computers of my own, and it's been great. So I don't know anything about game. I'm just kidding. I know a lot about Game Pass. I've always been mixed on the idea of it, and then I've always felt over the past, yeah, maybe a decade or so that Xbox has just kind of been going down the drain, which again is unfortunate to say because as a bigger Xbox fan compared to PlayStation, right? Like I had a PlayStation 2, um, and and then I bought a PS1 after the fact, but I never owned a PS3, never owned a PS4 or 5. And I don't know if I ever will, if I'm being honest. And then like the idea of like these next gen consoles coming out and, you know, costing an arm and a leg, which is something we're going to talk about. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of glad I just got into PC gaming a while ago. And I think too, for the sake of other people trying to get into PC gaming, like it is hard. I've got friends that, really want to get into it, but it is hard to justify costs. And I think again, when you already have like a well-built PC, what is the point for buying a console or next gen console that's coming out sometime in the next 3 years or something like that, right? So um I don't know exactly what you all think about Xbox Game Pass. And again, I think there's a lot of interesting things about how it's maybe killed the idea of buying games, like why Call of Duty just didn't sell the way it used to, why people can just spend a certain amount of money and then just dip out and be like, I'm glad I didn't pay for the game, I'm just gonna pay monthly to a subscription and then do what I need to and then kind of stop and go from there. So um but yeah, Katie's voice is deeper than Nick's. Absolutely. Well, it helps because she has one eye, and there's something about having one eye that allows um your vocal cords to drop a little bit lower. I don't even know. Well, I when I was singing, I could do like lower actual singing um tones. So I don't know if I could. Let me see. Let me take a swig of coffee here. That's not the best thing to do for your voice either, but. And I've not done any vocal warm ups, but how's my voice now, Boosh? Do I sound more deep? What if my voice sounded like this? I am General Thrag. You will bow to me. I'll read that. I'll read your comment here. I had a good day so far. 45 minutes morning walk, light lifting for 30 minutes, did 2 loads of laundry, weeded the garden, 9 asparagus spears growing. Huzzah. And homemade pizza is in the oven. How was that? Um Yeah, is the Trump and ICE allegory that much in Daredevil? I paused when the story Spanish scene happened, took me out of it because I want to get back in. Dude, yeah, some of these allegories are just kind of hard to watch. I think that's what I find so boring. I'm like, these type of shows are meant to take us out of our current reality, and that's not what we're doing. We're just kind of like, hey, remember all this other real shit you got to deal with that you probably get from a ton of other fronts? Well, we're going to give it to you from this front as well, in case you didn't notice, because we have stuff to say, because we have a voice as well and a platform. Yeah, no one cares. That's why your show ratings suck. Um, You stoked for the Nick Cage Spider Noir next month? Uh, you know, I listen. I am pretty stoked about that. I was wondering if I was gonna maybe bring that up today or not, but I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, like I love Nick Cage. Regardless of what people might say about his acting or whatnot, I definitely think that um this could be a pretty entertaining show to say the least. Um, So I might watch it in black and white though. I feel like it's probably going to have a better impact in black and white. Amazon speak if you haven't seen Vox Machina. Yes, I have seen Vox Machina. And I think the new season's coming out soon too. Um, and dude, Critical Role is great. I mean, what's his face? Matt is a phenomenal GM, and obviously, like the voices that he does is phenomenal. Um, it's expensive. It is the consoles, 100%. The PS5 owner, yeah, I'd say stick with PC. As soon as the price on components comes down, I'm moving straight to PC. Dude, Ronan, it's definitely gonna be worth it in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like when you just get into the current generation of parts. So I want to get into PC. I think I have a PS5. I love the original God of War, Horizon, Spider-Man, and this was Wolverine. Yeah, Wolverine. Wolverine is going to be an interesting one, and that's kind of like one of the things that I know they said it might not come to PC, which kind of sucks. So I'm like, I don't want to buy a PlayStation just for one game, you know? And I'm like, it would help if we were like in the old time or years ago when we could just literally just go to a friend's house and be like, yo, let's go play the new Wolverine game, and then just chill, take turns and all that kind of stuff, and then like beat it once, then we do it, beat it again, like, maybe in the higher difficulty or something like that, right? Like, but just make the game for PC. Come on. I mean, I would wait a year for it, maybe. Um, which stings me a lot, considering I always busted PC players not owning their games. This day and age, though, I don't think any of us own games unless we saw the high seas. Yeah, man. I mean, it's I kind of had a similar, not epiphany, but a similar like realization. I was going through some boxes from storage, and found some old DVDs, right? And I found some old PC games on on CD, not even DVD, CD, right? So it was just a man. Like I remember installing Warcraft 3 for the first time, and it's definitely sad, right? I'm like, oh my god, I found my old Red Alert, like Command and Conquer Red Alert games, and that took me back for a moment. Like I literally just kind of stared at like the CD, the plastic, and just was like reading the inner flat book of it, and I'm like, man, had some great times playing old PC games like Command and Conquer. What a great series. Microsoft screwed themselves with the COD thing. They really did. They really, really, really did. What's up, Isaac? How you doing, brother? Bullish on Xbox. That being said, PC is still better. 100%. That was a thing. I am doing my best Goodwin impression. So I think if I maybe like have a nice Marlboro Red, then I could probably do a better Goodwin impression. But I think he's still busy fighting off tornadoes right now. So I'll have to see what he thinks about my impression like on Monday. Nick Cage has been cast in True Detective season 5. Why are you lying to me, Waylon? Console gaming is for peasants. Dracona's out here taking shots. I mean, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. And like when my previous statement, although it's going to seem like that, where like I don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend $600 or more on a console. Let me put it that way. Whereas I spent $300 on a handheld device for one game to play with friends, co-op, 4-player co-op. When I bought the first Nintendo Switch for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which was a fun game that we were playing, especially when COVID hit, because we were like, yo, what y'all doing? I know y'all ain't working. Yo, let's go play some Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. The crappy thing about Nintendo Switch is that they have no voice control. You can't like join any sort of, they don't have like a Discord app or anything of the sorts, like no in-game chat, or no console type chat either. So we had to basically join Discord and talk in Discord, which was fine. So I was like sitting at my computer on Discord, but playing, on Switch at that point. But Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was fun. That actually had I think a better Marvel story than maybe the MCU. Just sad, but I had an Xbox One in college, and I had a roommate who had a PS5, so I did the whole playthrough of Spider-Man on his stuff, and he'd come back and I would just be chilling in his room. That's the best part. It's like, yo, what's up, dude? Yep. I beat the game. I mean, we used to do that all the time. I remember one time, I think it was Smash Brothers Melee came out on Nintendo Wii, right? And we were at my buddy's place, who lived like an hour away from us. And so like on the weekend, we go chill, and we'd buy like booze and just hang out. And his wife has always been super cool. And she just like let us do our thing, and then just check out, like, you guys need anything? And then we'd like ask her to go get food for us or something like that, or we'd order, and we'd like make sure we took care of her too. But I remember there was a couple of times where some of our friends would like be like, yo, I'm gonna go pass out, and we'd be like, well, this was like when Melee first came out too. We're like, well, we got to unlock all the characters. So me and my buddy Vinny, we stayed up all night. Like I remember my buddy's place, who lived there. He like woke up like the next morning, was like, "Morning, y'all." I was like, "Have you all slept?" And like me and Vinny were like, "Nah, man, we're still going." And he's like, "Damn, y'all need coffee?" And I'm like, "Yeah, coffee would be great." He's like, "All right, let me make y'all some coffee." And but like we stayed up like, I don't know, 36 hours just like for the previous day, doing whatever, but stayed up all night just trying to unlock stuff, and like you could build a level. So like and then we stayed up later again like that same night, and then finally passed out. But the good old days were the best. I reached a point where mouse and keyboard are the only way to play, at least for FPS games. I can't aim well with the control anymore. I mean, dude, Isaac, I'm playing Crimson Desert on mouse and keyboard, brother. Like, I don't know the last time I picked up a controller, which I have here. You can see the dust on it, dude. You can see the dust on this controller. That shows I have not touched this thing in a long time. Because mouse and keyboard are superior. I know auto aim and all that kind of stuff, but Warcraft and StarCraft, oh dude, job's done. And then you get the Marines. That's the stuff. Dude, StarCraft was amazing, man. Buy me a computer, rich man. Do you read any series I recommend? Red Rising. Yes. I have the first 2 books in that series, and then one of my other friends, I got him into it. So I hope they never ever make a series on that. I don't know what happens in like the other books, because is there 6 books out now? I want to say. I feel like they would screw it up. It was in comparison, it was a letdown, but UA 1 and 2 were great. Dude, like go back to like X-Men Legends, right, on Xbox. Those were great too. Buy me a computer. Have a few drinks, chill at the pool house, maybe build and play video games for a few hours. Yeah, those are amazing. Yeah, you're trying to be Halo and Legend, and you wouldn't understand. I mean, I remember, God, well, I mean, and I think when we've had discussions of like what was the best sort of like midnight release you like remember, when you had to go to like a GameStop, whatever game store it was, EB Games was around, right? And then it's like what was the game that you remember having the most memory of? I have a few. I have several. That I'll never forget. And 2 of them were Halo 2 and Halo 3, where we stayed up all night beating the campaign first, Um, and then we jumped into multiplayer. Um, reason being is like, knowing that there was a ranked system, it was like, oh, and Halo 2's ranked system was far more punishing than Halo 3's. And plus I had some people that I knew from the old Halo CE days, through Xbox Connect, that were wanting to, like, form a clan, which you could do in Halo 2. So I mean, that was like the first real exposure for me in what like being a true sweat was. And I'll never forget that. And it was some of the best times of my life in video games. And I'd say too, with when World of Warcraft first came out in November in 2004, I played that all freaking night. I stayed up all night and all morning the next day. And I think with the Burning Crusade expansion came out as well. Because you had to get it on disc. You couldn't just download it from the internet. So those were great times as well. And I remember, speaking of Halo and Legendary, Halo 2 on Legendary was extremely punishing, and I think the hardest legendaries of any Halo game to me would go Halo 2, then Halo Reach, and then I think Combat Evolved or 3 would probably be next. And the other games are just kind of whatever. But probably the one thing I'll never get behind, mouse and keyboard. I was born with the controller in hand. I'll die with the controller in hand. I mean, like, I think majority of us, especially like in my generation, we all grew up on controller, right? Like, NES controllers, Super NES controller, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Sega, Dreamcast. Like, all those controllers were in my hand really kind of before I ever went to mouse and keyboard. Like, I think some of the first computer games I ever played were like Doom, Duke Nukem, Descent, Team Fortress, Command and Conquer, StarCraft, Warcraft. Probably like the first lump sum of computer games I ever played. Earlier on, then Diablo 2, Battlefield. I'm trying to remember if there's any old games that I remember playing. Quake is another one. Atari controller had one button. I never owned an Atari though. I played on one, but yeah. But I think, again, it was probably around the early 2000s that, because of like the type of games like Battlefield 2, I was super into on mouse and keyboard. So Ronan said Reach 3-2 in ODS. ODS was tough. I will admit that, because you're not Master Chief. You're not a Spartan. Yeah. To me, Halo 3 was easier than Halo 2. Well, those Jackal snipers on 2, they are unforgiving little bastards. They want to live action the Red Rising so bad, but I think adult animation is the best for it. Just like Invincible and Vox Machina, and Golden Set is my second favorite in the series. Lightning, the 6th and the newest. Okay, I remember hearing that the 6th book recently came out, so I have the first 2 books. I mean, if you think that animation is the better route to go, then I could see that being done. Just make sure that they don't screw the budget like they have with the Invincible animation. I bought the first 3 kind of whole trilogy, and I'm sending it to Ryan Kindle. I've been trying to get him to read it for months, and he said to send it. He sent me some merch for winning March Madness. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh, you won March Madness? That's congrats to you on that, man. That's awesome. I think Ryan would probably enjoy the series, honestly. There's big as he is into Star Wars and just like sci-fi, I think you'd find it enjoyable. I definitely need to continue collecting and reading that series though. Blue, Blue, you're my boy, Blue. Michael Jackson movie just started. I'll let you know. I'm curious because Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers liked it. Jeremy Johns did. High underscores. I think Michael Jackson is going to hit very well for anyone who, number one, liked his music, understands why they did it. I believe the guy who's playing Michael Jackson is like an actual relative of Michael Jackson. Is so um that I guess that's why it looks very similar to him. But I've heard a lot of good things. The only bad things I've seen are just bullshit critics and bad journalism. 80 kids gonna flock to that movie. I think 80s, 90s, and I mean I think I don't know about younger generations because I don't know how. Not that they don't know of him or they've never heard his songs, but it's just more so, do they understand more about who he, like, what was about, or what he was about, like, musically speaking? Like, I don't think this is a biopic or anything like that, but, or is it? I'm curious. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it this weekend, but we'll see. So yeah, just like a couple interesting things though, right? Like about uh what the female is doing. I mean, I don't think any of us kind of saw this happening. Maybe, maybe not. I see people spell her name differently for some reason. Asha. So I think this slash in price is a good thing. And I know a lot of plebs out there are probably like the fact that it's not released on day one. I'm happy to hear that, and I could honestly care less about Call of Duty at this point. I'm like, yeah, like, good. Let people pay for Call of Duty again, because then if they want to hack in game, then or cheating game, then they need to spend money. I know like Warzone's free and all that kind of crap. I don't care about that either anymore. But I think it's quite expeditious of her to reduce the cost to make it more enticing, but also be like, hey, guess what? We're reducing the cost so that way Call of Duty has to be purchased and not be a part of a Game Pass. I think it's good. I think it's a good move. Beans! How are you doing today? Happy Friday. Michael Jackson was the hero they demonized. They killed Michael Jackson. I'm just gonna be flat out. I'm not putting on like a tinfoil hat or anything like that. I know this isn't Tuesday with Leon. They straight up killed that dude. They knew they were ODing him, and they killed him. Have you been introduced to Lorne or Arcos yet? They're currently doing a Book of Lorne spinoff in between the break between 6 and 7. No, I don't know what that is. I feel like I need to look it up though. She's hot. Listen. Wood. She's smart. Smart women are I love a smart woman. Not dumb, of course, but again, for what she's doing, and it's crazy. Why didn't the dude think of this shit first? It's kind of insulting, right? Homeboy, what's his face? Head of Xbox, Microsoft, didn't see the error in his ways, and then you pass it off to Asha, and she's like, "Hey, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this as well." Right. So then she does all these other things. Boom. Slashes Game Pass price, kills this Xbox ad, prioritizes Xbox as a console again, updating achievements, reviewing exclusives, announced the new Xbox Project Helix, brings back Xbox Fan Fest, which I liked when I was, a big into Xbox and consoles, and announces the new E-Day for Gears of War as a deep dive. I mean, she cute. I'm not gonna lie. I know we have a resident brown woman here in the crew, Vex Electronica. Um, Vex, I'm sorry, I love you, but I might have to. You might be my number 2 now. I'm kidding, of course. You'll always be my number 1, Vex. Um, but I think she's doing the right things. I really do. I don't think it's a biopic. I think it's a biopic. Boosh, make sure you tell this would be good with response. Boosh, I think you need to reassess your logical thinking there, because no, it's biopic. It always has been biopic. Shut up, I don't care either. Yeah, having a brand new AAA games on Game Pass is stupid. That's what I have always thought, Waylon. I'm like, aren't you guys losing money that way? Like, I'm no expert in business, but I do know a thing or two. I paid attention to economics and business in college, but only because I had to, because those stupid required classes are ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad that they took them off. One game I've been doing is a Fortnite daily quest log. I'm playing 15 minutes while dinner's cooking and get off, and I bought Crimson Desert. Just gonna dive into that, dude. Yeah, I was playing. Yeah, so I was playing some Sea of Thieves, and then I was playing Crimson Desert for a couple hours last night. Did not intend to go as long as I did, but I did anyway because I was just having fun. You know, and I'm only at 15 and a half hours into the game, which is barely nothing. I'm on like chapter 4. Just started chapter 4. I mean, it's a fantastic game. It really is. So, and that's coming from someone who is a big Black Desert Online fan who has about 600 hours into that game. I don't know if I'll put 600 hours into Crimson Desert. I think because there's so many good games that are coming out that I'm still playing, and some games I'm kind of rotating. Like when I stream on Thursday nights, most likely. Especially when there's like new updates, like there's a new Helldivers 2 update coming out because there's a new Warbond, so I'll play that, test that out for a bit. Arc Raiders has a major update coming out next week as well. I'll probably be playing that. We've got the new Forza game coming out next month. I'm more than likely going to be playing that. Black Flag comes out in a couple months. We'll more than likely be playing that. So it is a good time to just be a gamer. The problem is that I don't have enough time to play all the games I would really want to do and enjoy. I'd probably have to like stop streaming altogether and just like devote time into pure gaming, or just turn my entire stream into just gaming and then just play a new game every single day or something like that. I don't know. But I think it's okay, because I think with the time I do have, and the time I devote to gaming, I do enjoy. I enjoy it more because I realize it's not that it's is or isn't special anyway, but it's like I appreciate it more. I'm more kind of grateful for this particular time. I'm good. Talked the husband into getting breakfast pizza for lunch, so today is a good day. Ooh, okay. So toppings, what'd you get? And did you split half, or did you just kind of go all in? After the other night, I'm going to refrain from making comments on my taste in women. It's okay. I love a woman with massive personalities. The perkier the person, the better. I mean, I agree, Wayfarer. Like, I don't know much about Asha, but I feel like for her business decisions, they seem like a a great thing so far, right? Now how things will play out over time is something that remains to be seen, but from I think what a lot of people are considering and saying and realizing that these are the kind of things that have been missing in the realm of Xbox, right? And what Microsoft needs to kind of get a better jumpstart in this industry and in this sector. Not talking about PC gaming, but just like Xbox as a console, right? Like let's look at these exclusives again, right? Like we need to figure out uh, this whole ad crap, making that the minor and my minute details of just achievements being a thing that because there's plenty of people out there that want to min max achievements. What does the next version and next generation of console gaming look like? Which we'll get into. And then I think one of the biggest selling points is going to be Gears of War, right? As a an old Gears of War fan, I've only played the first three. I've never played what they have Gears of War 5, right? I've never played 4 or 5. But you know, uh I think she seems like a good fit. I think she seems like it was the right decision. And again, I jest when I say that, like, is it crazy that Xbox is saved by a woman? That woman would have any idea and how a business should be run or what gamers would want. Because I don't think it's rocket science. I think it's very straightforward, and it should be. I think, you know, um, you know, uh, if you understand what the fans are saying, what the populace is looking for, and you just look at the data and can extrapolate a solution to the people, and they go, "Oh, this is a nice checklist here. Oh, you're hitting all these points. Oh, wow." And the fact that you're attractive, have a good personality, that doesn't have anything to do with saving Xbox, but I definitely think it's one of those moments where like you can appreciate maybe what she's providing as value to the company, to gamers, to console gaming as well. And I feel like if she is successful, then this is going to be touted as one of the best moves that Microsoft and Xbox has done in its entirety. So, I'm here for it. I want everyone. I want all gamers to succeed, right? I want us to have good consoles. But obviously PC gaming is still master race. So sorry, but I definitely want there to be a good gaming realm, flat out. The internet remembers. Live stream recordings exist for a reason, right? Hey, Jax, how you doing, sir? You're not late. You're here. And that's what matters. Only check mark missing on the list is opened in OnlyFans. Brother, I feel like she would probably make so much money on an OnlyFans. But that's so funny. I'm playing Black Flag a madman. Yeah, that might be a game that I stream eventually. Where is the other article I don't want to talk about? So, yeah, interestingly enough, on the whole, Xbox, Microsoft, next gen, Helix, which $1,200 is kind of absurd, but still match the performance of a $2,000 to $3,000 gaming PC. Now, I'm a huge AMD fan. I've been Team Red for processors. Oh God, probably since like 2010. Even when Intel was like dominating, I was like, nah, I like AMD. I'm gonna stick with AMD. And obviously, AMD is the true the true processing king right now, and has been for some years. And guess what? Who runs that company? A woman. crazy. But I'd say that's what also makes the RDNA power so beneficial to consoles, because of yeah, the which is the I think this is kind of like the next thing they're talking about is the 3 nanometer process, because I think we're at what are we at now for PCs? I think we're at 7 or 5. Like I have a 7000X in my computer right now, but with which one I have the ability to upgrade, which I'm waiting for that next uh, chip generation to come out, and I'm swapping, and my computer's going to run even freaking faster than it is now, which I love. I love just like, let me just take this chip out, put this chip in, and boom, you know. Now, granted, yes, like a PC definitely costs a lot more money when you're, you know, buying a graphics card that is over $1,200 alone, depending on how much RAM you have. You know, even at the time, and I think I might have spent like $200 on like DDR5, like 32 gigs. You know, I remember getting my hard drives for at a fairly decent price. And then like, you know, you've got your fans, the case itself, power supply. I forget how much my current gaming PC is, motherboard. I don't really have any like custom cables or anything like that. But I have a Leon Lee case with 10 Leon Lee fans in there. 4090 Team AMD. So, you know, but there again, this computer is going to last me for a while, and I understand consoles can't last for a while as well. But you have to wait for the next console generation to come out to play these next games, right? Or to have a better computing power. So it's like saying, well, if you have a PS5 but you want a PS6 because you want better graphics and whatnot, even though a game might be playable on PlayStation 5, it's going to look better on PlayStation 6 or Xbox rather. And you spend how much money for a last generation Xbox or PlayStation, which I believe PlayStation's raising their prices too, which is ironic. But then if you look at the cost of you know, a computer before, it was insanely overpriced to buy RAM and hard drives, memory. I would say it was totally worth spending $2,000 because you could do more than just, you know, playing games on it. And if you do any sort of you know, production, right? Or if you use it for work, like there's obviously more you can get out of it than just gaming, but I understand. So, but I think it's gonna be interesting. This system is designed as a true hybrid. It would play native Xbox titles and full Windows PC games. So it's like you have the capacity to switch back and forth, which I don't know how that's gonna work. But I am very curious to see how this is going to look and handle. Because yeah, if they're trying to like kind of just, you know, merge the two together, you know, trying to like blur the line between consoles and high-end PCs, and making it feel like you don't have to have a PC because you can still play PC games, but on this, you know, Project Helix console. And yeah, you might just, you know, spend some money. And I feel like that's kind of what the Steam box is designed to do as well, right? It's like PC gaming, but it's not a console as well, but it's also like not a computer. It's just this device that allows you to run an operating system still, but also play games that are from Steam. So, I'm pretty sure the Steam box was going to have a similar price point. Like I said it's going to have or at least be at $1,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if Steam box was you know, 1,200 or more, if I'm being honest. But I'm trying to get into YouTube and streaming, just haven't fully committed. What would you recommend for a PC to do so? I feel like people say PC, but it's just Umbrella. I don't know the specifics. if you're just going to be doing like streaming like this, uh, you don't need anything special, right? You could probably buy um, something on the lower end, and just get a decent webcam, like $100, and decent microphone, whether you go XLR or USB, and which again can vary in price points, but you can get like a pretty decent one for like 150, $200 for a microphone. Now the audio interface can differ, but there are different and there's even more options now, which is nice. But um, I wouldn't I wouldn't go overboard, especially as you're kind of getting into it. Building it up along the way, sure. And again, if you're just purely using a computer for that and like not gaming, then I don't think you need to like again spend $2 to $3,000 at all. Um, Bro saying that's why the new games that come out I stream. That's the only time I have been able to enjoy it. But I did exactly, Ronan. There are times where like maybe after like a Monday or Tuesday stream, if it's not too late, then like I might like you know play some like Arc Raiders, do some raids or something like that, or like like lately I've been playing some like Crimson Desert or whatnot. Um, but yeah, it's tough too. Like Mad Dog, like um, everyone's different. Everyone's got like a schedule, and um, I work probably anywhere from like 40 to 60 hours a week for my regular job. Like before I started streaming, got some work done. After streaming, I'm gonna get some other work done. Like Fridays for me are just I've become more lenient because I work for myself. Well, not for myself, but I'm my own boss. So there's like enough work that I need to get done, and I know like what I have to do for my clients from Monday to Thursday. And it is a lot of work. And there are definitely times where I feel like I'm approaching burnout. Um, but when I start streaming, it's like that's sort of like my escape, right? Like talking about a different masculine movie on Mondays, talking about like we've been covering like Peaky Blinders on Tuesdays. Um, I say masculine movies on Tuesdays or Mondays. Mondays. Streaming with ABF on Wednesdays, doing like a gaming stream, like last night, and then being here Friday. Um, it it's a nice escape, and I enjoy doing this. Even if it is a hobby, right? Like I'm not, uh, you know, super famous or big or anything like that. It's just something I enjoy doing. It's like when I was playing music as well, loved playing music, was in multiple bands. Um, if like I got back in music right now, I would probably just write for myself, and just like release music that I felt was good and that I enjoyed making. And if people like it, then that's cool. I'm not trying to fit a pop, radio mold or anything of the sort. It's like I got to get famous and get rich quick, for with music. I tried that. You know, it's tough. We split half, but saved a piece for your snackums later today. Okay. Egg, interesting on pizza. Platter sense of breakfast pizza. Bacon, approve. Sausage, approve. Mozzarella, approve. Hot honey. Okay, but are you putting hot honey on the actual like cheese, or are you saving that hot honey for the crust? I like hot honey for the crust. I mean, Xbox has had their ass whipped the last two generations. They did, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know why it's taken them this long to to get their shit together. You know, so there's and again, like when you have, it's also a problem. I'll pull up this other tab. I'm going to kind of go into our next little topic here, but the hot honey makes it mint. It does sausage gravy, Sausage gravy sauce sounds really good though. Interesting. Um, these days, I'm extremely apprehensive when companies promote a young, diverse woman or a woman in general because I can remember things. Is it sexist? Maybe. Do I care? No. I mean, coming from a woman, yes, based. I made hot honey cured egg yolks. Ooh, they came out like a jammy spread. Use it on steak. Dang, all right, that sounds good, Boosh. And yes, Intel fell off big time. What's your opinion on Tim Cook's tenure at Apple? I've seen mixed people's opinions online. I think the dude fucking killed it. Oh, all right. So, not not to go on a tangent here, but something people might not know about me. I actually worked for Apple for 6 years. I was a technician at Apple for 6 years. My younger days, from I got hired to Apple literally right after Steve Jobs died. Like I was going through my interview process as Steve Jobs passed away. And I was like, fuck. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. And so then yeah, Tim Cook comes along and you know, a lot of things happened internally. I've never had a problem with Tim Cook. I think what's his face who did all the product launches, Johnny, I can't think of his last name. He left as well at one point, and that would to me was a little bit more concerning. But I think Tim Cook for the most part has done a good job at Apple. Now, granted, I totally understand like the whole Apple just um Apple just releases, things when they want, or they're so far out in terms of what they have already cooked up, and they're just kind of like, gatekeeping the technology and the new features and everything like that. I still have numerous friends that work at Cupertino. Um, some of my friends I worked with for years that are there. And uh I want to say I know everything that's going on, but they'll tell me like, they might say like, "Hey, I'm working on this," or "I'm working on that," or I'll ask like, "Hey, what did you work on like in this new iPhone or whatever?" But, um, you know, I, I honestly was a bit shocked. I was shocked the fact that Tim Cook was like, "I'm walking away," but I understand it too. Um, I'll be curious to see who takes over, Apple and how they do. Um, you know, but that'll be interesting. So we're gonna do the next PC build: work, gaming, and streaming. 100%. Um, I'd say too, Mad Dog, depending on how much that would cost or set up and how many years it would last. Um, the type of technology that exists now, like microphones can last for a long time until they just crap out, right? Um, Same thing with audio interfaces. They can last like a Scarlett 2. Scarlett 2 will last forever. That is a great travel audio interface. I've used I've used the Scarlett Red for recording music in the past as well. Especially like when we were on the road or whatever. But I think because of the technology that exists now, you don't have to go full board on the specs, right? Like I'd say like buy a motherboard that supports the newest AMD chipset. Get a rather inexpensive AMD chip. Wait for hard drive sales to go down. Keep an eye on them on Amazon, and then pull the trigger. Get a nice Samsung 990 or 9100 hard drive, SSD, the M2 chips. You could probably get a decent 2 terabyte hard drive for a solid price. I remember I got one for $100 on a half off sale. the unfortunate parts about PC gaming right now are the video cards and the RAM. Now, again, if you're not trying to go super min max on graphics cards, like, and if you notice certain games right now for what they are asking for the maximum requirements, right? Like I think Black Desert, for example, here. Let me go to their store page real quick, and see. Oh, hold on, that's Black Desert, not Crimson Desert. Sorry, 1 second. I'm like, that's an old ass graphics card. That can't be right. So Crimson Desert, as an example, either asks for, which is crazy, either an RX 6700 XT for the AMD Radeon, or this is for recommended, right? Or an RTX 2080. It's crazy that Crimson Desert, as heavily powered as it can be, and I play with everything on max visual settings, and it runs great. But I don't have like a 50 series. I think 50 series are a waste of money. And I definitely want to get the 6090 because giggity 6.9. Better than 6.7. Don't hate me. But the fact that it requires or is a recommended 2080, that's crazy. So my advice, Mad Dog, if you can find a 3080 for a good price, dude, 3080s are still a great card. My other computer that I have is fantastic. It is definitely a great card, and you might be able to find one for a good deal. Now, if you can find like a 4070, that would be a better option. But I don't know what the current prices are for 3080s or 4070s. But check those out. But yeah, I agree. Like you can get a decent rig for 1500, and that'll last you for a while, and then just upgrade over time. It's a beauty about PC gaming. Upgrade over time. No sauce and no the hot honey is drizzled over the top. Okay. Okay. Crimson Desert VGA requirement is 3060 Ti. I don't know why their store page says 2080 though. Huh. Is it misleading? Are they lying? Just kidding. That's a Quagmire joke. Watch Family Guy. Just kidding. I'm talking Russian. Do you know? Yeah, if you need to message me about it, Mad Dog, by all means. Maybe something that might ring more of a bell. Halo. Probably my favorite franchise of all time. Probably for gaming. I don't know if I'd say it's my number one anymore because of what's happened to it recently. However, I saw this and I thought, well, I never figured they would actually make a battle royale to begin with. I didn't think they would actually have it in their wheelhouse to do it. And I saw people on Xbox Forge or Halo Forge making better, what do you call it? Better maps that were semi battle royale like. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I figured it was going to be kaput, scrap, no more, done, finito. Canoli, what's up, dude? How you doing, brother? Yeah, dude. 7900 XT is good. And yeah, that's what I have. The 7800 X3D, dude. Great chip. I play in 4K though. I still get great frame rates, but okay, I did miss your Peaky Blinder question. Sorry about that. Is it a rewatch or first time? Curious as to your opinion of the movie. I'll wait. Not spoil anything just in case it's first time for you. Um, uh, Rewatch for me on stream, but two of my other panelists had this is their first time watching it. Obviously, they're not here right now. Um, and then Goodwin has seen it, but myself and Goodwin are kind of that same boat. It's been a while since we've watched the entire series. Like, I remember bits and pieces from like various seasons. Um, and we've been going like episode by episode, um, which I don't know if we'll kind of speed things up a bit or anything of the sorts. Maybe moving forward, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna go through the entire series either. Um, I'd like to go through season 2, then maybe stop and switch or something like that. But I haven't watched the movie either yet. It's on my list. I definitely need to. I want to. I've heard not so good things about the movie though. So I'd say without spoilers, what do you think about the movie? If you want to give it a rating, again, I'll take it with a grain of salt just before I watch it. But I mean, I still do like the show. There's things on a rewatch. I'm like, you know, maybe I had a different lens at the time when I first watched it. Not to say it's anything bad, but yeah, I still like it. Hello, Sherry. Oh, you updated your avatar. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well, darling. Yes, that's what I'd like to do is at least get to Alfie before switching. That's definitely my intent, Draconis. So, um, but anyway, when I saw that they said they plan to develop a Halo extraction shooter, I stopped and I thought about it, and after after I've put over 200 hours into Arc Raiders, and I've played other extraction shooters out there, and I was never like super big into it. There's just something about Arc Raiders that I really, really enjoy. I don't know if it's the arc component because it's like fighting Skynet to a degree. There's a lot of mystery and ambiguity behind it. Um, I definitely enjoy the gameplay and what they're doing, and I know there's a lot of like Embark gets a lot of flack, and I don't want to turn this into an Embark stream. Maybe we'll talk about it next Friday, as an example with the new major update. But thinking about this Halo extraction, I'm like, how is this going to work? Because I don't know, and I don't think I see this translating well into the extraction shooter. Like, number one, the map itself needs to be massive. We're talking, a vast landscape. And then from there, how many weapons are we going to have? Are we going to be like ODSTs? Are we going to be hell jumpers in the extraction shooter, or are we going to be Spartans? Because there's a big difference in power. Is it just going to be fighting the Covenant? So we're going to fight like the brutes and the elites, right? Jackals, grunts, hunters, right? So like, how many enemies in the Halo universe? The Flood? Are we going to see the Flood at all? Right? Are we going to see Forerunners? Right? Like, how many enemies are we going to be seeing? Because if it's going to be PvE, what's the E part? What are the AI going to be like? And obviously the PvP could be good, hopefully with a Halo game. You'd want the PvP to be good. But I think too, it's like in the extraction shooter, when you die in the extraction shooter, are you done? Or can you get picked up in a group? Or if you're playing solo, is it done? Right? So I think the other thing too is like, how punishing will this extraction shooter be? Because for a game that has such a huge IP behind it, a huge name and weight to it, such as Halo, and you're getting into a realm that you've never touched before with this IP. Like, Halo has always been strictly an arena shooter game. It was the king of arena shooters for quite a while. It's the only experience I've had as a gamer on FPS. Um, Aside from some Call of Duty, Call of Duty 4, but the idea again with the battle royale, I was concerned about because I'm like, I don't know if you could pull that off. Like, I mean, Call of Duty did, and so maybe there was an idea of doing the same thing, but Call of Duty has an insane amount of weapons in their arsenal. Halo doesn't have an insane arsenal either. So, do they start creating new weapons to use? Where's the variables, the variability between the gameplay itself? You know, are we going to get like the perks, though, the equipment drops in it as well? Like, are they basically just like all the same Halo components, and then we're just going to put that and dump it into an extraction shooter, you know, and let that be what it is? So I don't know. I'm not like hopeful about it. I know it's literally just kind of like got reported here, which I kind of followed this rabbit hole. This one guy, Rebs Gaming, he's a video game reporter. And so I was like, okay, well, it seems to be a fan of Halo. Scrolled down a bit more, right? So, um, and then I saw this too. This was posted yesterday. More of Asha, talking about again their meeting. And I thought this was interesting. Halo 3 20th anniversary. Are we getting anything for that? But I appreciated this. Again, we're talking about she's coming in and she's trying to get shit done. Like, yes, Xbox players are frustrated. Let's engage daily with active players. Returning back to Xbox. So I appreciate, the attention that this is bringing to light here. And not just for us as users, but the fact that we've got developers, people that use the tools. They want to be able to find new improvements, right? As technology increases. Like, I saw some post yesterday that was like, oh my God, look at, oh God, what game was it? I think it was Call of Duty, or no, was it Battlefield 3? It was Battlefield 3. And said the plane on the aircraft carrier is at night and it's raining, all that stuff. And look how good these graphics were. Didn't require DLSS for NVIDIA or whatever. And I'm like, bro, the human characters look like Roblox. What are you talking about? I mean, the technology has definitely improved, but we need to allow developers to be able to find those improvements as well. So, it is quite interesting. And so a couple other things too, that this guy has reported on, right? It being the next battle royale, or sorry, the next multiplayer game for Halo is an extraction shooter. Some do. I mean, like, Tarkov has been around for some time. I'd say Hunt Showdown has been around for a little while now. And again, and look, I mean, Arc Raiders is massive. And I mean, the game came out literally October 31st. So it hasn't been that long since Arc Raiders has been around. But I think it just won another like best multiplayer game award. And like me looking at the Steam numbers right now for Arc Raiders, on a Friday afternoon, it's got 70,000 people in game. Like, yes, it's finally dipped down below 100K, six figures, but there's nothing new that's come to the game. And I think that's kind of like, I figured Arc Raiders would be a similar feeling to like Helldivers, right? Like, Helldivers will have a consistent fan base, myself included. But even I've gotten to the point with Helldivers where like I'm kind of only playing when there's new stuff that gets added in the game because there are other games out there that I've wanted to play, new games that have been released. So I'm kind of getting into the fray of when new content comes out, I want to play and experience it, and then kind of go from there. So when like Arc Raiders and Helldivers both release new content next week, those are the two games I'm probably going to play the most. And I'm sure other players will as well. And so you're going to see the numbers kind of spike up, and then maybe after the next month or so, you're going to kind of see them go down. It's been that way for other live service type games. That's the way it was always for Destiny too. New expansion comes out, people will play it excessively for some time, until the next raid comes out, and then they'll play. The numbers will spike back up. The new halfway point of the expansion comes out, then numbers will spark back up. So, it's it just depends. But I just saw that you're leaving. All right, Whelan. Cheers, brother. There are things that I dislike about the movie, and it feels like they had original plan to fully finish Tommy's story, but it changed, which is understandable. But I still enjoy it. Not great. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but I understand if it's like they changed it. So, yo, what's up, Nagy? How you doing, brother? I did see this. Sure, I lost my granny, so I'm just lurking, trying to keep my mind elsewhere. Well, I am extremely sorry to hear that, my dear. Sincerely, my heart goes out to you. My apologies to hear that. I hope you and the family can grieve properly. I definitely know what that's like. Lost my granny. My Nona early 2024. No, I was not in a good headspace at that time either. So didn't really help. And it was tough for me too, but yeah, like the best thing to do is definitely try to keep your mind elsewhere, keep busy, focused. That's not to say to not think about her, because we always want to think about our loved ones that have moved on. But I'm so sorry to hear that, and I hope you can find some peace in your inside, and always here for you as well. So if you need chat, just let me know. They are so similar that it starts to feel repetitive. Yeah, I'd say like with Arc Raiders beings, like, and I mean with like any game, there's definitely like a repetitive nature to them, right? Like and I think that's why, depending on the game. All right, Crotch Rocket. I like Helldivers is a game where you have the missions, and there's similar missions that you might play over and over again. You have like 3 different factors you can go against though. Now the chaos that ensues could always be different. You can always use different weapons to kind of switch up the gameplay. But yeah, like that's why, unless there's like something that's brand new and it kind of sucks you into it for a while, and then you kind of just can't get enough of it. Like with Arc Raiders for me, I'm doing like the expedition resets. Like I'm like doing like the self wipes every 60 days or whatever, because it's something that like I lost all my stuff, but I got rewards for it. So now I want to, have more skill points, more stash space. Because now I can just hoard more stuff. But yeah, there's always going to be repetition for anything. It's like saying, okay, you're playing in an arena shooter like Halo. Guess what? You might have 10 maps in the game, and sure, a new map might be different. Sometimes you might get the same map 3 times in a row, and it is annoying as shit. But you're playing against new people, but you're still playing against people. So like, there's always gonna be repetitive nature. It's like playing Fortnite. You're still, or like any other battle royale, right? You're playing the same map. The only difference is the dynamic that might happen based on your positioning, where the map, circle closes in on, and who you're playing against, depending on like skill level. Otherwise, it's all repetitious. Ordinance is like Reach, perhaps. I could see that. I could see that, and I agree. I think Asha's killing it so far. So, now that I think more about it, I just like it more and more. um, yeah, that is a turning point for the series. I agree. Yo, I gotta give Cole the double bicep flex, the double bicep flex. Yeah, hope you're good, my friend. Um, one extraction shooter I want to give a second go is Forever Winter. Oh yeah, the aesthetic and art style grabs my attention. Mechanical changes makes the game feel more frustrating than it needs to be. Yeah, there was a couple games that uh I had played that I thought would have been interesting for what was the one? Delta Force, right? Um I heard that game got like some severe changes. And then there was an older oh god, there was an older game I had played. I mean, not like super super old. Um I totally forgot what it was though. I'm trying to go through my Steam list and try to remember what it was. Decent concept for an extraction shooter. It was kind of like futuristic. I'm gonna try and find it real quick in my list of oh god, what's it called? Um it's like it was you would God, it was sci-fi related for this extraction shooter. You would go to like these weird planets, and then you could the cycle frontier. That's what it's called. The cycle frontier breakthrough came out in oh god, when did this game come out? 2022, and mixed reviews though, and I forget why I didn't like it, but um, it had a lot of potential. Um, but I think the developers fucked it up. Um, and I think there were cheaters in the game too, which was, I mean, that's an interesting point of cheaters in the game because there have been cheaters in Arc Raiders too, but yet the game is still existing. So, I'm out of work, so it's into a meeting. Thanks, Beans. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope your meeting goes well though, and happy Friday. Bro Force greater than Delta Force. No, yeah, not the finals. It like I said it came out a while ago. Have you watched Mr. In Between? I started it after Drinker kept talking about it. Like I haven't seen the final season yet, but it's not. It's good not to. It's good not to impactful show. I recommend Sticky P if you like it. Oh, you know what's funny is, and again, there's been a couple ironic things that, um, not that I covered Mr. In Between at all, but like the day that I was covering Unforgiven on Masculine Mondays, was the same day that Drinker released like a video on it, and I messaged him about it, and I was like, I had no idea you were making an Unforgiven video, and I'm like, I'm literally streaming it tonight, and but uh, ironically about the whole Mister In Between thing, I saw this clip pop up, and it was like a 5 minute clip of Mister In Between, and so I guess it's more than a clip, but a little trimmed segment piece, and I'm like, oh, like this dude's for real. Like kind of a little psycho. And so I looked up the show because I'm like, what show is this? And it's like Mr. In Between. And I'm like, oh, this is an Australian show. And so, I'm like, oh, well, I have a friend that's Australian. His name's Niat, Film Comics Explained. So I um messaged him about it. I'm like, have you ever seen this, bro? And it's like, I guess he's heard of it, but I think he's seen part of, like, so he knows of it, but I don't think he's seen all of it. Um, but I was saying I'm really intrigued by it now because I kind of want to watch this show. Because it's definitely up my alley. It reminds me of a little bit like Banshee. Um, but I do plan on getting into it at some point. It looked pretty good. Not gonna lie. So, um, but yeah, I'm just behind on some stuff for some shows, but I need to like take a whole day off and just like catch up on shows. Honestly, a couple movies. Even if I don't like do anything like any videos on them or otherwise, but um, I just need to kind of do some stuff. I know Waylon said that he was going to be playing a considerable amount of time on Black Flag, which Nagy, what do you think? Like, what do you guys think in chat? Are you guys going to play it a lot? Are you going to buy it? What do you guys think? Um, I'm definitely um curious about it. And I think I'm gonna pull up a couple posts here, but I wasn't expecting it. I think between Black Flag and AC2, AC2 is probably my more favored game. Um, but I definitely am highly considering in getting it. Um, just because maybe the features seem like they'll be cool enough to play. I only beat it once, so you know, playing it through it a second time wouldn't be that bad. And especially if it's like redone, remade. Yes, Banshee. Hold on. You think it looks great? I gave them a lot of grief, but actually looked like a solid remaster with more content. Banshee vibes. Stinky Pete is really good. It's a similar lane. Con Man Ryan watched it, but didn't review it or anything because not a mass appeal, but good. Yeah, and I think that's one of those things too, where like it's a show that is probably underappreciated, but not a lot of people talk about, right? It's not like a trending show, which it kind of sucks. That's something I'm as I stream more and like I question, this is something that maybe you ask yourself too, Mad Dog, like if you get into YouTube and streaming, it's like, what do you do this for, right? Like this isn't a job for majority of us out here, right? Like I don't need to be here doing this at all. Like my job supports me probably more than YouTube could ever, unless I was like, one of these pro gaming streamers, or had, millions and millions of followers or something along those lines. I don't know. Um, which could be like a 10-year endeavor. But for the sake of like, considering like what you're doing this for, um, and like talking about different topics, right? Like if you're talking about TV shows, like we mentioned earlier, you got Mall, Mall Shadow, you've got Daredevil, Born Again, you've got Invincible, and The Boys, all airing during the same week, even though some are ending and just starting. Those are seemingly popular shows. People know of them because of Star Wars, or because Invincible got popular from season one and just sort of like kind of fallen up or down since then. Daredevil because of just being a big show from Netflix. The Boys because of the success and hype that it got from season one, and all the controversy that's happened from like Eric Kripke, right? Like there's a lot of things that people know of even if they've never watched the show, but when someone talks about it on stream, they might tune in and go, oh, well, I'm curious to see what Gary has to say about this, or Jeremy, or Drinker, or so and so, right? Like anyone below them in terms of popularity. but there's always some sort of curiosity, um, and then whether you buy into it or not. But when you talk about things that aren't popular, right? Like if we were to talk about Mr. In Between, you're to talk about um, another show that people I don't understand why people haven't seen either is Paradise. I highly recommend watching Paradise. So it's like there are shows and there are movies out there too that people have not seen, whether because it wasn't marketed enough or it's just not trending. And so I think too, like when I started to review Peaky Blinders, I thought they would actually have more popularity because of the movie until the movie didn't do well. So no, I'm not just going to quit. I'm not a quitter. Mama didn't raise no quitter. Um, like I said, I want to get through season 1, which we're hitting episode 5 on this coming Tuesday. So we'll probably at least go through episodes 5 and 6, and then probably season 2. Um, but like I definitely think that there's enough to talk about just in general with TV shows. Like when a popular show will come out, um, like for example, House of the Dragon season 3, more than likely going to be covering it. I know a lot of people probably won't watch it, but um, because I talked about season 2 when that first came out, that was like my first real introduction and live stream with on a panel with people was uh the summer of 2024 when House of the Dragon season 2 came out. That's where I met Sammy Threepeat, I met Nadia, I met Kada, and a couple other people on that stream. So I kind of feel compelled, and because we didn't talk about Night of the Seven Kingdoms on my stream, I really wanted to, but um but yeah, I think at the end of the day, whenever you talk about something on YouTube, it's like just enjoy what you talk about, like because this is your time. Um, I wanted to share this. Where was the oh, this is the trailer. You said I think it looks great. I gave them a lot of grief. Oh, you said that already. I think I read that already. I hate to do it, but I think I'm gonna have to get the collector's edition of Black Flag Resynced. It comes with a lot of goodies. I haven't seen what it comes with. I'll have to check that out, Maggie. I did everything in that game twice. I'm gonna have to do it again. Are you gonna play it once through again, or twice through again? The reason why I want to start is just to talk about shit on blue collar age kids. So a lot of my friends don't watch the nerd stuff. So it would just be like a hobby. Yeah, man, that's completely fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm 27, work 4 days a week, no wife, no kids. So a lot of free time. Just want to do something that is a hobby I enjoy and keep busy. 100%, dude. 100%. I mean, I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I have 2 nieces that I've helped raise since they were born. Especially the younger one. It's like my own child. But yeah, I mean, my whole life is work, hobbies, and then family, pretty much, and friends. And that's all just kind of divided. But yeah, I mean, this trailer looks good though. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, oh, like it's actually pretty good. Hope this music doesn't hit me, but whatever.
We fly no colors out here, but praise the lack of them. So let the black flag signal nothing but your allegiance to man's natural freedoms. If a man plays the fool, then it's only fools he'll persuade, but appear to be the...
This is such a big uplift right here. I was thinking about playing through the original Black Flag again just to record the modern day segments for people who never experienced them and won't because they're taking it out of the game. And that would be a good option for sure. I mean, it's definitely like this, more modern appeal, which I really don't mind. Like, I don't mind the uplifting graphics at all. Not to say that the original graphics were bad, but it definitely has a different aesthetic. So, um, my hope is that the feel isn't taken away either because of the graphics and the changing in lighting or like the mood. Like, and I don't feel like, my anticipation is it won't feel that way. But the more I watch and the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I feel like I definitely need to buy the game and then stream it. You know what I'm saying? Like, which I know a lot of people probably will too, but like, it's just, I feel like it's gonna be a fun game. I really do, because like the original game was fun. So I have nothing wrong with it.
Devil, and all men will submit.
Edward Kenny, bro.
My pirate
Best,
kid.
second best
We
assassin
take as we please and become who we like.
behind Ezio.
But that look ain't you. It's not who.
Like, some of these like lightings is just, I still think it hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think in the parts that are like dark still look dark. It's just more polished. But even this says, like, at the bottom here, mix of work in progress. So
Not who you are.
not who you
Who
are.
am I then?
Yeah, it's still they're
You're a
still
wonder,
polishing
can't wait.
things. So
You've a
like,
knack for this kind
I
of
assume
work.
this will probably still get
It
better.
ain't work if you love it.
July 9th. Now I understand the whole, oh, it's supporting Ubisoft, which Edward's not a good assassin. He's a great part though. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's the second. Well, okay, so in terms of the assassins, like, how would you rank him in the assassins? Ezio is definitely the best assassin, but yes, I would agree. He is a great pirate. He is a great pirate. I've been seeing high praise for Windrose, and it's kind of like a survival game. I think I loved Ark Survival, Evolved, and love Pirates, so maybe it'd be cool, dude. That's kind of why, like, I recently got back into Sea of Thieves with some friends, because like they're just kind of getting into it for the first time, and like we were playing last night, and it was just me and my buddy, and we're on the way to do one of the Pirates of the Caribbean tall tales, which was really cool, and it took about like an hour and a half or 2 hours to complete. But I really liked the mission, and we're on our way in our boat. And granted, we had two other friends that were supposed to join. They bailed on us, but it's fine. And not Nerd Slap. Nerd Slap had to leave or couldn't make it. Another friend that was supposed to come, and he passed out like a bitch. And I already gave him shit for it. As a friend rightfully should, for falling asleep. But it was fun. So on our way sailing the high seas, a megalodon shark that had like red fins literally ran in and like ate our boat and essentially sunk our ship, which was hilarious. Us trying to like put repair the holes with a wood boards, and then try to take the bucket and dump the water out, and eventually we sunk. So it was hilarious. Windrose being only on PC is unfortunate, because again, like I have other friends that have seen it that have consoles and no PCs, and like, oh dude, if it was on console, I would buy it. And I'm like, just buy a PC, bro. Just fork up the $2,000. No, I'm kidding. I haven't bought Windrose yet either. It does look cool. It's just a matter of like, maybe getting to it at some point. Not to say it's not worth $40, but this is a game that I think having the PvP aspect in would be super cool as well. Because it's all just PvE. And not that there's anything wrong with that too. It's just, I would like the fact that if it was PvP. Like, I think it's what's cool about Sea of Thieves is that you've got the PvE element, but then there's the PC or PvP element too. If a player also wants to, other people want to mess with you, so that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, but I know. I mean, you feel bad for supporting Ubisoft, but sometimes sometimes we have that drink we shouldn't, and we still do. So Altiera walked so Ezio could run. I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying that Ezio is my favorite, and I am a little bit more biased towards Ezio for cultural reasons. The only pair is worse than rushers who aggro everything and make the dungeons take longer. Our fake tanks would get everyone killed. Very true. Don't queue up random if you want to rush. Don't queue up tank because you get you're a filthy piece of shit. That's why you just go healer. Altair is my favorite assassin. He made the creed what it is. By the time Ezio came around, Ezio is 2. Connor's even better than his grandpappy. Yeah, I mean, I won't argue with that. If they did, if they came out and did a AC2 remake, I'd be ecstatic. But they probably won't. Yeah. I hate Ubisoft. I hate Ubisoft with every inch of my body, but damn, did they cook with this? I know that's the frustrating thing, right? And like they, as I found out last night, they brought back, between Vex and William were telling me last night in my stream, they brought back some of the writers. They brought back the original writer for this. So I'm like, man, like that's actually pretty legit. I actually appreciate that. But later, Boosh. Have fun adulting on a Friday. If they did a Brotherhood remake, I'd splurge money, not gonna lie. Yeah, I could see that. Edward was only an assassin because it was advantageous for him, which is why he's such a great pirate. Oh, 100%. It's kind of like one of those things where like you're good at something else, but somehow that has benefits and payoffs to do some other job as well, right? Tricks of the trade, perhaps. I know why my place just got super cold. Definitely need to be 70 degrees in here. What are my thoughts on Witcher 4? I'll mind girl protagonist. I love the Horizon series with Aloy. But I feel like CG Project is going to be weird about it. Ciri doesn't compare to Geralt, though. Yeah, I feel like there's like this mixed controversy around like, oh, it was always going to be her. Like there was hints and thoughts about it always being her. I feel like those were changes that were subtly made. And maybe like I always thought were just maybe ambiguous, if anything. Like I don't think like, oh well. So the story should always be about Geralt, it should always be about a Witcher. Otherwise, why would it be called Witcher? And that again, I don't have a problem with female protagonists either in games, if done properly, right? But just putting a female protagonist in place because like you want to or think like, oh, she deserves it. Like by what merit? I mean, obviously you have to back up the merit with legitimate reasoning, build up story arcs. But I'd say too, I mean, like you've got good female protagonists in like the Resident Evil series as well. Tomb Raider, right? So there's always been a bunch of good female protagonists out there that are like worthwhile, and obviously some newer ones that don't feel like heavy female boss, girl boss character because agenda, right? And we're trying to be woke. I think Ciri will always 10 out of 10 times fall short to Geralt. There's just no replacing him. Now, if we're looking at how the game will be overall, right? Like, how is the story? How is the gameplay? How are the graphics, the sound, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah, I'm sure all that'll be fine and dandy. But I think the takeaway is, how are we going to feel about her character, and how is the evolved story going to compel us and entice us to buy the game? Because, I'm on the stance of waiting. I'm very much on the fence of not buying the game and waiting for other people to buy it. And then probably some of those early reports and some of those other channels out there that, are fully devoted to gaming, and then they will dump, 50 hours in the first, few days, and then be like, all right, here's an early review of the story and how Siri handles the, everything, that now that Geralt's not the main protagonist anymore. Here's what you need to know without spoilers, and then with spoilers, sort of thing. I might wait for that to happen and then buy into it and go, okay, I can get behind this. Maybe just trying to refrain from spoilers, but um, it's going to be interesting. Cole's playing old school games. Can't get into the stuff that, I mean, dude, Cole, I definitely feel you on that, man. Like, there's definitely times where, like, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this was recently too, like maybe before uh God, when was it? It was right around the time when the Battlefront 2 resurge happened. And not that Battlefield 2 is old by any means. Well, that's 2017, right? But the fact that it came out with like a big like resurgence, and I was playing that with Kata a bit, and I was loving it. And I'm like, man, like, this game's not even 10 years old, but it still feels like an old school game. And it's pretty great. Um, aside from all the problems it had. So, um, but yeah, there's definitely some times when I just want to go back and play some old games, which I'll do on the side, on like PC here. Like I've loaded up like Jedi Academy on the side, um, just for fun. Uh, Maybe Old Republic. I've popped on KOTOR a couple times, or SWOTOR, I should say. Um, like I recently bought Resident Evil 7, and thought about playing through that. 'Cause that's the only other game, Resident Evil game, I've been told is worthwhile playing after 5. So I might do like a stream on that. Um, and then I've also thought about starting up a new Red Dead Redemption 2 stream. I know Nagy's a huge Red Dead Redemption 2 fan, so kidding. Um, um, Problem with Witcher 4 is Ciri is not Witcher. Exactly. And she's not the Witcher, which everyone knows is Geralt, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you call it The Witcher or Witcher 4 when she's not a Witcher? You can't base the game off and this like and have it correlate to the title. It doesn't make any sense. And then yeah, she can't become a Witcher because she doesn't need to be. She has her own powers, right? So like, it'd be one thing if they did a spin-off and called it something else. Like, I feel like that would have been the better, um uh a bit more, honestly. So like, that would have been the better approach to it. And instead of calling it Witcher 4, we're gonna push everyone's favorite Witcher out and push out Geralt. Ironically, it feels like the whole Henry Cavill, those two like hit close to home, are very similar. Cavill gets pushed out, and no, even though he left, and then Geralt gets pushed out. Man, Tony, how you doing, mate? I am. I'll be talking just a little bit longer. I want to talk some Pragmata stuff. After we finish talking about AC4 here, but no worries about stream diving, my dude. How'd the gaming stream turn out? I was lurking before I popped on here. I'm gonna go Sam's Club. Chat while driving. No worries, brother. I hear you. I'll do the same thing. Just listen on the phone and don't chat, but I appreciate it, dude. Tried Fortnite. Some of the new games look great. It's not for me. I like watching games y'all play. Dude, I agree. There's definitely some games that I cannot stand playing, but I'll watch others play them. Like Apex Legends. I don't mind when I watch some people play Apex Legends. Cannot stand Apex Legends. Cannot stand it. playing old school Battlefield on PS2. Um, dude, yeah. Um, Battlefield's a great game. Um, call it the Lady of Space and Time because that's what Siri is. I mean, anything of the sorts, right? You could come up with something clever like that, or I think it would have been the better thing to do. Um, you know, um, the other two things I'll say about Black Flag is, I mean, you said you're going to buy the deluxe edition, Naganal. How much is that? Because if the standard edition is $60, and like I get it, it is being rebuilt and reworked. I appreciate a faster combat system. I appreciate it. We're getting more underwater exploration. I guess these new officers are like that are your mates or whatever have like new quest lines, which small material with questing like for like new stuff. I guess I don't know how long those quest lines will be, right? So like how much extra game time are we getting? I guess will be determined, but um, I mean I do appreciate. I figured you meant Star Wars Battlefront, right? Which man, that was a bummer. What happened on that release on Steam? That was terrible. Oh, that's what they literally call it. Oh, yo, thanks for the raid, brother. I appreciate it. $200? Holy moly! Okay, hold on. I have Steam pulled up here. Let me see this. Let me see this. Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. Um, where is that not on Steam for that? Is that like on a Ubisoft website? Because I see the deluxe edition for $70. Head to bed, bro. All good, my man. Get some sleep. Appreciate you, dude. And yes, hopefully you'll be streaming Helldivers next Thursday. And have a good weekend, man. For $200 to come with a bag of Coke. Amazon, Best Buy. Okay, so um not on Steam. I'm looking at Steam here though. So the regular pre-order bonus you get here. Let me just do this. Let me just share. Can I just share this? My window. Let's just share Steam. Okay. I don't know if I could zoom in or not on here or not. Okay, so pre-order bonus. We've got a crimson costume, crimson sword, crimson pistol. Okay, so some cosmetics. Now the deluxe version or edition, you get the same thing above. You get a naval pack and a character pack, which looks like some black and gold, but it grants unique perks. So the naval pack has a sail set, ship's pet, crew attire. I'm missing a wheel, figurehead, and hull trim. Okay. So I wonder what these like unique perks are for like this character pack, because it just says a trinket with unique perks. But yeah, I mean, it looks good though. I mean, the water, like the water effects look cool. We named the monkey Jack. Let's see here. Hey, look at this. Graphics 3060. It's not bad at all. You know, yeah, God, yeah. This is another one of those things where um even if you didn't buy the game off the rip and like pre-order it, and you wanted to kind of wait and see what the unique perks are, like and you're just doing purely for cosmetics, like this would be something to kind of get as well. But like, yeah, do you want to give Ubisoft $70? I don't know. Um, can I not zoom in on this shit, dude? Yo, what's up, Nix? On Ubisoft's Ubisoft site, you can get the collector's edition content. Also, links to the store that sell it. Okay. PlayStation Direct says, yeah, $199 collector's edition. Okay, so let me do this then. Let's look this up, shall we? We'll stop sharing this. And let's go back to, where is this other tab? Let's do a little relocation here. And then let us share this page. Okay. Zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So we get the full game and a hard case. Okay. Exclusive steelbook. I mean, it's a pretty nice box. Got 12-inch statue of EK, which, you know, it's a pretty cool statue. Fitting. Get the cloth world map in the back. That's cool. Logbook and a sea shanty music sheet. Along with all the extra stuff. So we know the extra stuff here is what, $70, right? So the rest of this, so this is $10. The cosmetics are 10. The game is 60, so $70. So between the steel book, the metal brooch, I missed that. The statue, the world cloth map, the logbook, and the sea shanty music. So are those 6 things worth $130? I think it's kind of what we need to ask ourselves here. I don't want to give them any money, but that's what I'm saying. If Ubisoft accepts payments in stool samples, I will buy 2 of these. I mean, maybe if the stool sample is like, you know, fossilized and, you know, you could go back and say it's part of a dino DNA, perhaps. Why rebuy it when it looks painfully worse than the old one, which were advanced there are advanced 4K mods that make it better. I'd say yeah. I mean, I haven't played it with the mods, but I mean, yeah, you're basically getting this, and then what is it, the fact that it's being rebuilt, some new storylines, the graphics, and then improved combat system, I guess. So I don't, again, like, it definitely is one of those things you have to ask yourself as a fan, is this worth buying? Now, if you already own it, then that's fine, right? But like, I don't own it for PC. So, um, and I don't know if I'll go back and ever play it on console, right? Probably not. So I would have to like be devoted enough to play and buy the game on PC, and then buy into this kind of stuff as well. And agreed, you gotta love this series to go for that deal. No coloring book. I agree. I feel like you should get like a rum bottle with this. You know what I'm saying? Like there should have been something cool. Like that's not like a book. I don't know. Like the Edwards Logbook to me, sea shanty music. Like there were some things I probably in retrospect would have changed. Like for a collector's box, it should have been like a sea chest. Like a treasure chest that you open and like it has all the stuff in it, kind of like what he's sitting on. That's what I would have done for a collector's edition box. That's $200. And then I would probably have like, some sort of rum bottle merchandise in there too. That'd be me. Vex, how are you? It's my other favorite brown woman. We were talking earlier about Xbox being saved by a brown woman, Vex, Asha. She's a couple of people in chat were like, Wood, he's hot. I'm like, yeah, you got a hot, smart woman leading Xbox now. Crazy. We live in crazy times. I know it's in chat about while driving, but construction's holding it up. Have you seen the Mount and Blade Banner Lord game, Game of Thrones one? I have. One of my buddy who plays Bannerlords a ton has told me about it, and I'm like, yeah. That's true. You got me. You got me there. And no one technically owns it on PC. Yeah, I know. Fucking Ubisoft. Pretty sure I paid my hard ass more earned money to own it, but we don't own it, right? Didn't someone say something egregious for like, oh, even the physical copies we don't own? Like, bitch, I'm pretty sure those discs are going to stay in my possession, and if I load them onto my PC, they should work and they should run. To be fair, the OG was pretty cool too. I don't remember the original collector's edition. Maybe I could look it up. Yeah, the original still holds up in the PS4 version on my shitty monitor. Yeah. I know what you meant, Nick, by your typo. No worries. Not gonna lie, she's restoring faith of women and Indians. She's doing that, Vex, and in like the Xbox world and gaming. I'm like, it's kind of crazy that like it again, there's no offense to women, but like the fact that it took a woman to realize this potential and be like, we're doing things wrong here. Let's like shake things up. And like people be like, you took Call of Duty off the Game Pass and you reduced the cost though? Like, yeah, because we have reasons. Let her cook, I guess, right? As the Utes say, let her cook. Exactly right here, like as Nagy said. The disc these days just prompt a digital download. Nothing is stored on disc anymore, sadly. I know. Old school CDs are the way it was best. The crew physical copies you're supposed to destroy. Mine still exists. Yeah, did they take those servers down, right, for the crew? I thought they did. Ubisoft Tard said players should get used to not owning their games. Will get used to my wallet saying close bitch. I know, yeah. Get used to saying we're not going to buy your games anymore. until everyone buys this new Black Flag Resynced game. That is something though I'm going to be very curious to see how many copies have been sold. And then someone's going to ask, now do we or do we not own Black Flag 4 Resynced? It's not even the potential, it's just the sensible decisions. Yeah, I agree. I think they could probably even go hand in hand. Like, you realize the potential of what Game Pass can offer based on a sensible decision, right? Like, and understanding the value of having a game that is popular and is heavy as Call of Duty, right? It's the Madden of shooter games. Like, you get a new one every year, new stuff, blah blah blah, but same stuff, recycled, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if for example the Call of Duty games aren't landing and they're absolute dog water, then that's a problem that they have separate to everything else. It's just like, well, you're just making shit games at that point, which, you know, I haven't been. The last Call of Duty game I was ever hyped about was 2019 Warzone. If I had to choose the, I saw your typo. If I had to choose the Xbox chick or Vex, sorry Vex, I'm simping for you. Lamouth. Crew is offline. Okay, that's what I thought. She's like the Trump of gaming. She may not be a gamer, but she clearly knows business and what's hurting the company. Well, yeah, and I think too, like, even if she did or does start playing games, right? Like, she wants to understand them, and maybe she'll see other people that are better than her play them, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think too, like, if people on the internet, if people make comments and videos like, oh, like, but she's not a gamer, it's like, right, but she's here to run a business, right? That's what CEOs are there to do, is to run a business. And to make sure that the company runs properly, that people are buying the product, regardless of what it is. So, if you play those games after the fact, and it's like, yes, I've played Gears of War. I'm not very good at it, but I've enjoyed what I've played. And everyone else who's a more hardcore fan and is a fan of Gears of War, the Gears of War franchise, will certainly enjoy E-Day or whatever it happens to be, right? Like, then yeah, like, I think that's completely fine. Now, I'm sure people are like, oh, she's just a casual tourist. Like, bro, she's a fucking CEO of Xbox. Like, who are you? Some random, person on the internet. Like, you're not doing anything to help. Let's let her run the business. And if everyone else, like, bro, she's doing a good job, like, back off, then, like, you don't have anything to hold against her. I'm streaming Modern Warfare 2 on PS3. Surprised the servers are still going and people are still playing. Even Nagy's been on. Yeah, I've seen you been doing that, which is cool, man. Like, it's kind of like when oh god, what was it before the Battlefield 6 came out? People were playing Battlefield 4 still on Steam. Yeah, with digital games, you actually don't ever truly own them. It's the user agreements now. If you illegally obtain them, then you own them. Until you get caught, or hopefully you don't get caught. Which is kind of interesting. I mean, obviously, like, if it's a live service, or like, like World of Warcraft, right? Like, you buy into a subscription to play the game, right? But that they decide, like, oh, guys, Warcraft's finally dead. Servers are going offline, and that's that. Then like, yeah, all the characters at the time you've put into it, like, are gone. So, like, you don't own the characters anymore. You own your memories in the recorded segments, perhaps, but yeah, that's about it. You own the merchandise you buy. Servers down. There's an open source project that makes your owned copy work in a self-hosted server, which you can multiplayer in with friends. I think it's called TCU project. Huh, it's interesting. That's why stop killing games is so important. Oh, for sure. And I think that's another thing too. Like, when you look at games that have, like, private servers too, which I've played before with other games. You know, like when I didn't want to pay for World of Warcraft, I was like, well, there's private servers that I play for free. So, and that was like, you know, like 2 decades ago. So it's been around for a while. I mean, Co-Author and a few others have been playing Modern Warfare 2 on PS3, so still great fun, even though my stars won't save. Or stats won't save. That's all right, right? Sorry. After they dissed Japanese culture with Usagi Nagasaki and dissed Stars with Galaxies, Ubisoft can reach me at 1-800 go fuck yourself if they want me to buy anything else from them. Dude, Star Wars Galaxies, man. What a game. What a game. That was a fun time. I missed the Star Wars Galaxies game era. And I think I agree with you on this Naganal, where like it doesn't mean they're redeemed and they might not ever make a good game after this. It's just like I think because of their recent track record, it's such a bad track record that how can you find redemption or how can you move on so that other people will, you know, believe in you again or trust you? I mean, like you've said some things that people aren't going to forget, like we've kind of established here on the stream. But in order to continue progressing as a company and to continue making games that people will like see and go, oh, this is a great game. Who makes it? Ubisoft? You know what? This looks good. Or maybe they've, you know, apologized or done some things that have self-corrected their mistakes. But, you know, I don't think that they're close to becoming redeemed whatsoever, kind of like Naganal said. So this might be a one-off situation here with Black Flag, you know, and then it's back in the shitter, you know, back in the closet you go. Ubisoft, you had your fun. We let you have your fun with Black Flag. You did good, but now we remember. You know, it's kind of like teaming up with an enemy that you, or like a rival, in order to like defeat an enemy. But once that's done, you put like the rival back in their spot. Like now we're going back to rivals, right? Like now we're not friends again anymore. We'll see though. I do want to talk about some Pragmata stuff. But I did also save this little teaser for Spider Noir. And since Mad Dog, you brought it up earlier, I was like, yeah, we could do a little chitty chat about that real quick, because I did bookmark it. Not that I was intentionally going to talk about it, but in the event we did, I do have it here. So why the heck not? So full screen this bad boy.
Silvermane, charged of organized crime for 30 years.
Someone burned down his mansion a couple of nights ago.
I don't know if the whole show is going to go back and forth between color and black and white. If you can choose, then I hope you can choose. Because I think the first time, if it's good enough to do in a rewatch, I will probably choose to rewatch it or watch it first in black and white.
The only thing Silvermane gets off on is power.
He's psychopathic,
But yeah, Brendan Gleeson being in this is great. Great actor.
but also a little bit smarter than your average narcissist.
This Spider-Man is fresh and of a time of dangerous gangsters in the 30s noir style. This all takes place in another dimension, in a different...
I mean, how can you not like Nick Cage? They said they're releasing both. Okay, cool. Dope.
universe.
In a while,
What do you say we cut the fancy talk?
I've got a fight coming. I want you to help me.
The Sandman is the ultimate anti-hero. His power of the superhero is also what's killing him.
This Tombstone is way more interesting. There was something more nefarious.
So Sandman being in it, it was kind of cool, but yeah, maybe we'll get a better job in this with Sandman than we did in Spider-Man 3. And then Tombstone, that should be an interesting one too.
Is happening. He links the classic comic book character with a very grounded story.
There's all these other bad guys with powers, but I think they're trying to solve a problem. Dirk is the problem. It's about getting his moment at all costs.
Spider was never a hero. I only did it for the thrill.
There's still time for you to become one.
You can see the weight of danger, but you get a sense that this is just the beginning.
Yeah, looks pretty cool. Enough spider trash. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's 1930s noir and Nick Cage, Brendan Gleeson. Like, might have to watch it. Might have to watch it. I was interested in this until I found out it was a series. I mean, I think it'll be better as a series than a show, though. Or sorry, than a movie. Is it supposed to be a Spider-Man show? Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong. This basically got greenlit or suggested because of the first Into the Spider-Verse movie that they included Spider-Man Noir, who Nick Cage voice acted for, and then they were like, the fan reception was like, oh my god, this is Nick Cage playing Spider-Man Noir, he needs his own movie or show. And then boom, here we are. Yeah, which funny how we got a different Spider-Man movie, but we didn't get Miles Morales. I'd sit down for a 2-hour movie, but I don't do TV, except anime occasionally. I don't know if they said how many episodes there are going to be though. So that would be my other interest. Like, is it 8? Like the standard 8 for Amazon or what? That'd be my only question. Like, if you could, and my guess too is that they're probably going to do like this 2 to 3 episode release as a premiere, and then they'll go through and do like your weekly episode. I don't think they're gonna go like, here's all 8 episodes at once, and then you could treat it like a movie. But yeah, this might be something worth covering though. You know, Vex, if you're listening, I don't know. But you know, could be kind of cool. And yeah, Cage is always a good selling point for me as well. He's been on a really good arc between like his movies, honestly. So it's Nick Cage though, Vex. Come on, Brendan Gleeson, noir. I don't think it'll be like super comic booky and like a bad thing. I'm hoping it's got like some good like crime drama to it. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Maybe we watch like the first episode and then like determine how it goes, perhaps. I don't know. That would be my other suggestion. So yeah, last thing I want to kind of just talk about just briefly is the Pragmata stuff. Which, you know, Ronan, you asked if I was gonna, or you said as a possibility, like would I consider covering or talking about Pragmata as a video game, but like Masculine Mondays or something like that. And that was something that I had considered doing for even other games, or sorry, or including other games, right? Like you could include, Arthur from Red Dead as a masculine character, Master Chief, even like Kratos, right? So there are other characters out there that, would be good to talk about, and and I don't know if I'll, if there's like a week that I'm like overly busy and I don't have a movie lined up for some reason, um, you know, uh, maybe I don't know, during holiday season or something like that, and we talk about some of these characters and just kind of, whether it's multiple or maybe like a hard focus on one of them. Like I have not played the game yet, admittingly, which the more I've heard about it, the more that I am, definitely um on board for buying it, just because of the amount of flack it's been getting from stupid individuals. But you know, from the bits I've watched, the amount I've heard about it, and the amount I've read, like I saw another like random, when I was looking for some images for like a thumbnail, I came across like some random uh URL or some random like blog basically, um called Jamaipanese. So I'm assuming this writer is maybe mixed between Japanese and Jamaican. But it was just like you know, an overall like quick display of the game. So I figured I kind of just go through a couple parts on this. Um, but I do plan on buying it. I don't think that um I don't know if I'll stream it or not. But more than anything, I'll probably do like a video. I'll probably do a video on it. So that means I need to record some gameplay for said video. Um, yeah, but Cillian Murphy isn't saving Peaky Blinders. So you want to switch to Spider Noir? Um, Quick thoughts on what I think about Fallout. Didn't love the show, but I thought it was good. First season definitely better. First season was better than season 2. Yes. Fallout is like a 7 out of 10. Maybe even 6.5 overall. Walton Goggins is trying to hard carry that show. He's definitely the best part about it. Firebird's the best Nick Cage movie. I like a few of them. And Vex loves Long Legs, and she loves Nick Cage in Long Legs. I know what she's talking about. You wouldn't mind switching? Okay. I need to look at the calendars and see when things would all line up, perhaps. When Pragmata's trailer came out, I knew Nibas would take it into the PDF bait, and here we are. I know. I do like Nick Cage, but it's been a lot of awful stuff. He has, but I mean, I think it was probably around like the Long Legs timeline, and that he's just been in like pretty decent stuff. Didn't he win some award, or he had like a really? I didn't watch that movie. He got like a really good ratings for it. There's a couple out there that I have not seen from him recently that I've heard has done really well. Where's my share link? So this is like in a random article that I came across. But it's just an overall review. So shout out to this Japanese person. But yeah, so it gets compared to Dead Space and Last of Us. But I like the fact that it's best described as a classic Japanese manga film series, Lone Wolf and Cub. But it's in sci-fi, right? And I think she also makes an argument about it being relative to Sekiro, that game down here. But Hugh Williams being the male protagonist, right? And he's a simple man doing an extraordinary job. He's an engineer arriving with a team to the moon to investigate an issue. Then boom, things go crazy. The groundedness makes his relationship with Diana feel earned. Their bond is wholesome, building slowly through small interactions as the story develops until it eventually becomes a real tearjerker. No spoilers. Seeing a regular guy protect a mysterious girl, robot, android life form like Diana reminded me more like the dynamic between Sekiro and Kuro, a protector bound by duty, but fueled by something much more human. And I really liked that because to me, I'm like, oh, you're talking about masculinity? Huh? You're talking about a masculine character in a video game that we haven't gotten in some fucking time? Sorry. This is exactly what we needed, though, for a video game. And to expose the nut jobs out there, like you were saying, Vex. Like, I think it is important that there are candid reviews like this where you get the sense of person is in a bad situation, seeming like a normal job, and then all of a sudden, like, the instinct to protect and to save something or someone lesser than you because you're like, well, I'm a strong guy, or I'm brave, or I'm being courageous, because you hear someone cry for help, and it's like, unless you're afraid and you're worried about something happening to yourself and that you don't put yourself in harm's way, not saying like, oh, she's as good as gone or whatever, like, they're saying like, no, don't save me, like, most characters would still try to save someone, even though it is too late, yeah, men are protectors, women are nurturers. And I know this whole idea is that, men who aren't fathers or maybe even uncles shouldn't care for kids. They shouldn't protect them. So it's like saying, if anyone out here that, I'm not a father. I'm a pseudo father to maybe like my niece and goddaughters, because I've helped raise them since they were born. Literally, I'm very much involved in their lives and their well-being, and I do provide a lot for them. And I enjoy every moment for them. I love them to death. I would do anything for them. And I think that's something where it's like, it is technically family, so it's not, it's like almost, it should be that way, right? But if I see like random, someone else's kids, or like if any other single male out there sees, kids that aren't their own, and if they don't want kids, like I heard there's a line in the game where there's another guy that's like, oh, having kids was like the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm like, that sounds like a real line, because I have numerous friends that have had kids, and that's the same thing that they've said, like having a kid, being a dad is one of the best things that you can experience in life. We've had, we know people on streams like Blue Collar Loser, Goodwin, even Leon, loves his daughter, like a drinker, like there's plenty of people, let me know, out there that have kids, and they have always said the same thing. Like that is a recurring fact and theme that people say. You know, Draconis, another one as well, right? Like, yeah, go get me a beer from the fridge. Yeah, go get me some snacks. Yeah, or go do the yard work, right? Um, but like the idea of caring for something or someone that isn't yours, right? Like, you know, and there's not something like you become attached with because like I don't know so much about the game, but like it's interesting to say like it's the everyman hero where like plenty of us out there are just simple men and we're just trying to do a job. You know, and then sometimes things can go sideways and like you could be involved in some sort of relationship. It could happen with the woman, right? Like I saved this woman that almost died and like she was extremely thankful that I was there to help save her and now we're really great friends or maybe that turns into a love story and it's like then we got married, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there are things that seem like fantasy, but there are things that have happened like that. These are like stories that have actually happened somewhere in the world to real people. And so the idea of again, takes place in space and whatnot, but you know, how many people out there it's like you're doing a job. Like how many people out there that are police officers or paramedics or firefighters, you know, that have saved kids from dying, you know, have been there to rescue them. There have been plenty of innocent bystanders that have helped people out, and just trying to look out for them, right? So, like, yeah, we're just normal men. But there is a requirement. There are things that should be embedded in our system, that propels us to act and to be aware of our surroundings. You know, it's like when you're, and this is what just recently happened, like in Louisiana, right? The gunman that opens up and starts taking people's lives. Who showed up? Who showed up on the scene? Law enforcement. Were there any women officers there? Or were they all male officers? Right? And now you can say what you want about how your feelings about law enforcement, but when there's an active shooter on the scene, their life's in jeopardy too. But they also understand that civilians' lives are at jeopardy. Women, elderly, children. Those are the types of people that men should be protecting. So when you see it in a video game, it makes sense. Yo, what's up, Zaxi? How you doing, brother? How's your voice? Modernity does its best to dull our natural instincts and senses. It's shocking how quickly it resets when you allow it to. 100%. 100%. I totally agree. And I think that's the problem too with society, like where society, like this, you know, I think the majority of people out there understand the bullshit that's been in like the controversy around this game where none of us are buying into. We're like, yeah, no, you're wrong. Like that Mary chick, from Tim Pool that, again, I saw this, I saw this clip, which I watched the full video from bounding into comics by any means. But same thing, like Tim Pool. No, I used to watch Tim Pool a long time ago. I have not watched Tim Pool in years, for multiple reasons, but like this, like the whole Mary Morgan thing, she's incredibly wrong and doesn't understand it whatsoever. And then the fact that Tim Pool doubles down on it is just retarded.
So guys get mad because they are discriminated against and assumed to be predators because they want to have children. That being said, I gotta say, I think Mary is generally correct.
generally correct, but also I believe Tim Pool has kids as well. And the fact that she doesn't, and I know it's because they're friends and he's just trying to, to be there and protect his friends. But I also think at this point, her friends, he should be going, Mary, with all due respect, you're wrong. And let me educate you on the mistakes you're coming forth with, and maybe the error in your ways, and maybe how you could better appreciate what this story is actually saying, and actually be privy to what the natural instincts of men and women consist of. And then you should now go make me a fucking sandwich with your shitty ass takes. Tim is insufferable lately, and him trying to defend Mary just shows that, despite his deriding of the story, the stodgy suit wearing conservative types, he's becoming one as well. Yes, I absolutely agree, Ronan. I'm saying, like, I have not been able to just stand what he's been saying lately. And it's like, okay, well, whatever. But this is just dumb. I can't believe he's doubling down, but I'm also not surprised because this is something that I think Tim would do. But again, like, I don't think even Tim's looking at it through the eyes of, like, masculinity. And it just blows my mind, the fact that if he has kids and that she doesn't, and these statements are being, said, is exactly, it is embarrassing. If I had a friend that was making the same mistake, but the same sentences saying the same thing as Mary is or has said, I would go to said friend and be like, listen, with all due respect, what you said is not true. And then when friend says, what do you mean, or why, how so? Well, that's when the education starts. That's when you open their eyes and you bring them to logic and reasoning. And at that point, if it doesn't sink in with them, and maybe it won't in the first moments, but maybe allow it to just settle in and then come back. Now, I would have hoped that would have been the case. Like, in a proper scenario, that probably would have been the case. And I mean, it shouldn't have happened to begin with, but people are stupid. Statements were made. The proper thing to do would be for her to be educated. And maybe she is, because I think I've seen that she's kind of like changing her story a little bit, like trying to backpedal on some things. Like, she's kind of shifting her story. Like, no, what I meant was this. No. What you meant was what you originally said. You're just wrong, and you're getting fucking blasted. And now you're trying to shift the story around. That's what's happening here. You don't like the heat because you're wrong to every degree. And now you're trying to move the magnifying glass as the sun beaming down on you like a fucking ant. And you don't like getting burned. And now, I mean, Tim's just going to be Tim. There's a couple other things too that, like, again, this random dude said, again, I just kind of randomly, he just popped up on my feed, and his name's Timothy Stebbing. I don't know anything about him, but he said, girl dad here, my dads are in their early 20s now. To all the guys out there who society told being a responsible father was a fate worse than death, and who are now getting a glimpse of getting a glimpse through Pragmata of what fatherhood might be like. You were lied hard to. Sorry, bro, for being a father is the most amazing thing on earth. But it's not too late. Go find a good woman, marry her, raise a family, provide, be responsible, go all in. Be the protector you were made to be. That's it. That is it. And if you can't be a protector, you're not masculine, and you're not a man. You're a woman, because then you're just nurturing. Accountability. Women's greatest enemy. You need to find a woman that can be held accountable, right, Vex? Um, yeah. Um, and so there was this clip too that I was like, oh, like from the game, which, and again, I haven't played through it. And then even Daily Bugle had said the fact that a game like Pragmata has characters that form a father-daughter bond is the least bit controversial. Tells me society is fucked up beyond repair. If you are offended by this game, you are a miserable human being, and I totally agree to this. And then again, if you're offended by say you're a miserable human being, then number one, get off the fucking internet. Number two, go look at yourself in the mirror and reassess your life. You know, like you need help. But this clip is, and I'm even watching this clip. I'm like, this seems like a great game. Number one, but also, you know, obviously, you guys out there watching who have kids are well aware of what kids do, and like something I've noticed as I've helped raise two nieces, like they mimic you. They have an incredible memory, and the things they may not hear you say, or the things they might hear you say that they may not be able to say at the moment, they will say later on in years down the road. And then you're like, where did you hear that name? Or where'd you hear that word? And it might be a curse word or two. And then they think it's cool. They think it's funny. And you're like, no, don't say that word. Don't say that word. You know, but kids will say the darndest things, and they will mimic you. And which is why it's like, you need to have good role models. Like, kids need good fathers in their lives. Kids need good mothers in their lives. They need good parents. And when they don't have good parents, especially a good father, it is extremely noticeable. So we talk about like when like boys that grow up that don't have good fathers, life is incredibly more rough for them. But daughters need protectors. And then even sons need good mothers for nurturers, you know? But yeah, this is a great clip for anyone who's not played the game.
Diana.
Yeah.
Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana.
Diana?
Diana.
Like I've had those moments before too. Like you go back and forth, like no you, no me, no you, and also like I'll flip it and like no you, no me. Like it just goes back and forth, right? You kind of trip them up. It's adorable. It's a great thing. You can usually tell what kind of person someone is by their kids, for sure, 100%, dude. And this is gonna lead me to my next and final topic about the game too. The armor looks sick. I'm like, yo, the vibes of this game are dope on even like an actual like gameplay level too. So then I'm like hearing the game, you know, the voice acting, blah blah blah, and then I see something else of interest, which, you know, not the first time we've seen something along these lines, but and I'm sure some of you might have already seen this and maybe heard of this too. But let me get Chibi Reviews reacts to a black woman, Grace Saif or Saif, being the English dub voice actor for the Pragmata Japanese character Diana. Both voices are great. I don't give a fuck what skin color you have. Just do a good job as a voice actor, and that's fine with me. Restricting voice actors' work to match skin color of a character is horrible and needs to full stop. It's blatant segregation in the industry. You guys remember maybe 6 years ago or so now when the voice actor for Cleveland Brown on Family Guy, who'd done the voice for years and years and years and years and years, got kicked off the show because it was a white dude playing a black dude's voice. And then Abu from Simpsons. I mean, they removed a whole Indian ass character. And then you put a voice actor in for Cleveland Brown who does not sound. I noticed a difference. And I'm like, this ain't Cleveland. Sorry, bro, you ain't Cleveland. Hit him with the Joe Biden, and you ain't black. I mean, it's so dumb. Adishikar and the Prusity have been a disaster to the dubbing industry. 100%, dude. He's been terrible. But like, I had no idea. And that's kind of the same thing. It's like, I don't care if she's black. I wouldn't care if she was Hispanic or, Asian, not even Japanese, like Chinese, Indian. I don't care if she was from anywhere else in the world. I'm gonna say she had to be a white character to voice a white white girl in a video game. Like, I don't know how old Grace Rafe is. Just for the sake of an argument I'm going to make here. Let's see here. Okay. She is 30 years old. Okay. This voice actor, 30 years old, born in Manchester, England. Okay. Let's see what other work she's done. She's done some television, some small theater. She has done video games. She was a character. She did a voice in Elden Ring in 2022. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. She did additional voices in Alan Wake 2 and Diablo 4. And then World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, which was one of the last expansions I ever played. And then Pragmata here. So the fact that she's 30 and she's playing a young girl's voice, kudos. Maybe she just had, I've never heard her talk, but maybe she just has that good pitch that allows her to, go that high and to seem that young. That's talent, right? That's what I want to see. You got hired to do a job. I buy the product. I like the product. I give you props. Why? Because you've done the job correctly. Don't care what you look like. I'm glad you had an opportunity for this gig. You got paid for it, and people enjoy it. Kudos to you, Grace, for doing a good job as the English dub. District from G.I. Joe and Devastator from Transformers was black. Agreed. Yep. Didn't bother me one bit. Nobody cared. But now it's DI football they want to play with. Dude, 100%. I don't understand that. I'm like, you realize how many voice actors played black characters? You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, Uncle Phil played Shredder, Oroku Saki. Uncle Phil. R.I.P. No one cared. No one cared. Because he just did it right. It fit. It just worked. I wonder, these are the same people that complained the voice actors for Navi and Avatar weren't blue. Yeah, you're not from a different planet, so you can't do this. This kind of conversation never existed before. And we had great voice actors regardless of skin color. Phil Lamar as Samurai Jack was iconic, and no one cared about him being black. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, no one cared about this kind of stuff when we were growing up, or going back 10 years, even maybe. It's just this recent thing, this recent trend that is just absolute terrible. Like it's not constructive. Like all this talk is just pure destruction. I don't care about Samuel Jackson playing a white guy on the Boondocks. Yeah. Yeah, what's up, Zolis? How you doing, brother? And exactly, he to this day, he's done the best Shredder voice. People act that blacks didn't have any cartoon voice actor in history. I know, right? And it's like, have you done any research to see like what characters were whom? Yeah, it's like saying, guys, we didn't get a blue character, a blue subspecies of a humanoid to voice Zavala in Destiny, but instead we're gonna get Lance Reddick, also RIP. But guess what? Lance Reddick is black, and he voiced Zavala for what, since 2014 until he passed away. So for what, at least a decade? No one cared because Lance had that distinguishable voice. And it was so precise. And it had that drama. It had that it conveyed leadership. It's just like how no one complains when a gay dude plays a straight person, but reverse roles and it's the end of the world. Yeah, I know, right? We need representation. I'm surprised like Brokeback Mountain didn't get much flack, or more flack like now. Scatman Crothers, great actor and voiced Jazz from Transformers and Hong Kong Phooey. Yeah. You see him, but if it was just a voice alone, and you could be like, well, look, you gave Morgan Freeman the role to play the voice of God. So, it's just God we're talking about here. No big deal. Obviously not animated, but this is just egregious, and I can't wait till the day where like these types of points aren't made, which I'm pretty sure they'll always get made, and I don't think this is going away. I think as long as we continue on this trend where we kind of shut this shit down, and we start to dampen it more, and just shove it down into the basement and we lock it, we might hear it, it might pop up occasion, but no one's going to care about it. And it's like I'm not trying to bring more, and it's like I don't think people are trying to bring any more attention to it than we need to, because it's like if we ignore it, it should just go away on its own, because people are just going to realize like this is just a bunch of baloney and nonsense, that this isn't even really worth talking about, because we know better, and we know a character like Grayson, everyone else we've mentioned recently in chat about who's voice too. They're just doing a job. They're just doing a good job at that voice acting, and they're getting paid for it. And we're enjoying the product that we're buying into. So I don't see a problem here. And again, it's just more, they're trying, it's like, I hate it when people try to find as much controversy they can about like a movie, a video game, TV show, comic book, when there is none, right? If there's like intentional propaganda and some sort of like inserted woke agenda, then absolutely, like people have been calling out for years now. But when you're pulling stuff like this, it's like, I don't even know if, for example, if this voice actor Grace is aware of any of this, and I'm not saying that she'll ever see this clip here, or maybe what other people have maybe said, like, but I hope she doesn't give a shit about what some of these like idiots have said about like her not being, or the fact that she's like a black woman, a 30-year-old black woman, young woman at that too, who's just doing a voice gig. Like, I mean, it's like saying how many female voice actors out there who maybe are Asian or non-white, we'll just put it that way, right? Who aren't white, but they voice like a white character's role. I don't care. Right? I saw someone say that I saw someone try to say online that, oh, the actor who's playing Cammy in Street Fighter it isn't white. She's Thai. Mel Johnson. And I'm like, I mean, she looks fine to me. With all due respect, those legs and ass look fine to me too. So I don't care. Like, she has a designed role that she should be portraying, and she put in the work for it. So I don't think people are really going to care about it. You know, there was an argument, I think it was on Instagram about it, and I was like, Sagat, right? Who's not in the movie. I expect he'll probably be like this like the next one, because I'm sure this is going to get like a follow up or a sequel. The fact that Sagat, do you say, I don't know who says Sagat, or do people say Sagat? I've always said Sagat. Like you know, like not every Thai person looks like that either. So like I don't know what you're insinuating, but the Tard Gooners have cared. Apparently she isn't thick enough. Hold on. Let's do a little comparison. We're going to do some live research here on the channel, and then we're going to end it. Because number one, it's time to eat. I need my protein. I'm going to another steakhouse tonight, y'all. Woo! Ooh, I'll take another picture of some steak I'm about to get. Oh, yeah. I've worked hard this week. I deserve to eat some good steak. Okay, let's see here. I mean, you could probably just pull up the trailer again, no? But just some good side-by-side. I've seen people complain about Chun-Li, the fact that like you don't see her legs, and I'm like, I think that was intentional, but let's see here. Let's also look up her as an actress. I mean, I think she's very pretty. So I don't know what people are saying. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just pull up the Street Fighter trailer. Which I know I brought up last week, but let's see, where was that? Now I'm going to mute it because last week when I had the sound on, YouTube was like, we detected sound. Okay, let's see here. All right, we're gonna EFAP this a bit, okay? Jamie, can you pull that up? Not feeling the Street Fighter movie. I I don't know. Wait, we'll see. I'm gonna see it regardless. I can't wait though for Mortal Kombat 2 and this. I'm gonna see both. What's up, Vex? Yeah, look at that. We're pulling up chick try as you join. Look at that. People complaining. That's all you need to know. I'm not surprised, but one. Street Fighter is part of the GI Joe community. I do know that. And I know that, like, again, I'm sure there might be some lore breakage in here, which again, understandable. So we'll see. Vex also one. Listen, I know people have different tastes out there, but if I came across this situation of, yeah, 100% one, would. So hold on, we're gonna. Okay. Exactly. An objectively sexy woman. Jarvis enhance. I want to let me zoom in. But no pun intended. Listen, she got cheeks. Cammy cheeks is what I called her. And then like she's got some, and this is from a side, so you can't really see like her the front part of her quads, right? So yes, we are getting glutes and hamstrings here of her walking and approaching Chun-Li. Which same thing, like Chun-Li's legs aren't showing either. Like that should be exposed. Chun-Li shouldn't be having leggings on. So that's what I would be complaining about. Like why aren't we getting Chun-Li leg here? But I mean, apparently she put in the work. I mean, look, I feel like guys out there that are complaining about her and the way she looks, they've never gotten close to being with a woman this sexy. And they're jealous about it and they're complaining about it. And it's just dumb. I mean, so I mean, she's approaching Chun-Li again like, "Sup, bitch?" A piece of this ass? Is this a game? Only if you want it to be. Just give me a fork and knife. I'm diving into that cake. That's all I'm saying, bro. Be a fucking clean plate club over here. I'm not in the game, so I don't care. But just the movie, but I agree it looks fun. I might watch it at home eventually. Definitely looking for an MK2 though. Yeah. Suddenly interested in the movie. Yeah, she's in her Alpha Zero outfit too. Yeah, and I wonder, I don't know if we're gonna see her in the green as well. But yeah, Jenga's a game. Yeah, Monopoly is a game. This is something far better and far greater. I forget what other parts of the movie she's in. This is obviously this was the biggest and most important part as well. I don't think we see her anything else here. Like it's just her and Chun-Li. Oh yeah, she's here as well. Bitch is mad. She's like, how'd she get all that cake? I think that's it. I don't remember what the dialogue was. Oh, that's right. It was fucking song. Waylon's favorite song. Oh, that's right. It was from Archer. And I agree. I need to go back and watch Archer again. She needs a hamburger, more squat days for my taste. I don't let's see. Her name was Mel Jarnson. I mean, if you look her up by herself, she's, you know, she's very, very beautiful. But I don't know how much she worked. I mean, it seems like she worked out quite a bit to get to this point. Which kudos to her. Let's see. She's a Thai Australian actress. Okay. She's 27. 27 years old. Yes, I'm reading from Wikipedia. Born in Bangkok, Thailand. Spent a large amount of her childhood in India and Belgium. Fluent in French, English, and Thai. Moved to Australia in 2016. And that's where she's lived since then. And she played Natara in Mortal Kombat. Did she really? And I don't remember that. Hold on. I don't remember that. Oh, she just looks different in that one, though. And there's not a lot that's showing. Okay, well. I guess that makes sense. How tall is she? That is a good question. What do you think? I mean, you can look it up yourself, but I have an approximate height. 5'5" is what she's said to be approximately. According to IMDb, she's saying it's 5'5". So it's 27, 5'5", Thai Australian. And yeah, she get a lot of cake for an Asian. The fuck? I know, right? But like, maybe it's because that's the certain part of Asia that it's compensating. I don't know, like, or just kind of going through. I mean, she pulls it off. Like honestly, I don't think I would have known that she was Thai here. Like, I mean, I've seen white chicks. I mean, you could be like maybe mixed, like you're primarily white, but like, I mean, she's not like brown. So, you know, the fact that she's born in Thailand, I'm like, I don't give it. Again, this is like, I don't give a shit. Like, you know, if she does the job well, then that's fine. If her lore is well, then that's fine too. Like, if you don't break her lore, that's fine. Just make sure you do her justice with like her looks, her outfit, which again, that's 2 for 2 in my book. I mean, whoever Mel Jarnson. I'll type it in chat. Right? Did I type it right? Hold on. Yeah. Sorry. 1S. Mel Jarnson. So she was in Harrow and Blacklight. Never seen those two movies. But like, dude, if you just Google her, and she's got very, very, very pretty eyes. And I feel like her regular headshot, yeah, like her regular headshot, you could probably see a little bit more like of her being Thai than what we see in this trailer here. Like if you're looking at her, as she's like laying down, right? Like her face looks different here than it does in her headshot, like for like IMDb or whatnot. So, like here, let me hold this other image up. Right, like definitely different here. But very, very pretty, beautiful girl. 100% would. So, you know, anyone out here that's hard gooning that is saying like, nah, I mean, listen, if she came at you and you said no, I don't know, bro. I might have to take your man card away. Yeah, it's like exactly. Now she does. But when you flip it back to the trailer and you're like, oh, looks different. I'd like, well, I'd, I don't know if she would, or if they've ever said like what, you know, thigh size she is or whatever. I mean, because obviously in like the video game, like if you look like video game, Cammy, like she's got fucking quads, bro. Which I mean, it makes sense, and I think, there's two things that they could have done, right? They would have either had to have found another actress to do the job, which, you know, again, I don't think would have been out of the question or possibility. Like, definitely could have been possible. Like I don't know what other actresses could have pulled that off. But in some, you know, video game adaptations, you know, drawings of Cammy, like I think it was like in Street Fighter 5, she's got crazy quads, like quad muscles that like I have, and I'm like, damn, they went hard with this video game drawing here, or animation, but like I think another actually kind of raises another point here. I just passed it by. If we're talking about other characters in video games, there is another female character in the video game. Another female character, Julie, who first appears in Street Fighter Alpha 3, who is being played by Rania Vallandigham, who I first saw her in the Cobra Kai's last season. So Julie from from Street Fighter 3, I believe is just American, if I remember correctly. Or is she Russian? I forget. Sorry, she's German. My bad. And Cammy is one of her rivals. And she's supposed to have like a similar build to Cammy. So like, if you don't know who I'm referring to, I'll pull up a screenshot here real quick. This is all research, guys. We're doing the Lord's work here. It's like we're just Googling Cammy, or sorry, Julie. So Julie from Street Fighter 3 Alpha, right? Generally looks like this. Right. You get the idea. Not quite Cammy, but so then yeah, Rania Vallettingham, she's a legit martial artist. Which I remember looking up after the fact in Cobra Kai. I was like, who is this chick? And is she actually doing all these stunts? And yeah, she is like a 13 time like winning like black belt or something crazy. Born in she's 23 years old. Yeah, she's young, that's right. So almost looks like a young Angelina Jolie. Yeah. Oh, dude, that would actually be a good take for getting her for Tomb Raider. I'd be down with that. I agree. If there's anyone that should have thunder thighs, it needs to be Chun-Li, not Cammy. Cammy just needs an ass, which she got. Newsflash: video games aren't real. Good luck finding a real one with thoughts like that. That's also flexible enough to pull off the moves. That's the problem with all of live action adaptations of games and anime. I mean, the only time you're actually going to find a chick like that is in the fitness industry. That's like the only time. Like maybe an MMA fighter, right, as well. And hopefully they don't have a busted face from getting punched in it too much, but yeah, Rania Vallettingham yeah, has earned 13 American Taekwondo Association titles. Yeah, she has a pretty incredible martial arts career. She's like one of the youngest black belt to achieve this feat. And she earned her black belt at the age of 6. And remember, she's pretty incredible for like what she can do and like her martial arts, but let's say as Julie Street Fighter. And so she's going to be associated with M. Bison. Can I not find a good picture? Or a good comparison? Choppy ass images. Whatever. We'll just do this. Use this Google. So yeah, I mean, she's tiny. She's like 5'3" or something like that. Pretty, of course, but you know, like kind of what she's supposed to look like, I guess. I mean, so again, this is something now where she definitely has like a very athletic body, because she's been doing taekwondo since she was like 2 years old. So, you know, it kind of makes sense that her figure matches, like the stature of Julie. I don't know how tall Julie is supposed to be in the game, and if this correlates well. You know, but again, very, very pretty girl. She's 23, right? So now, again, talking about Chun-Li, you know, is this good enough for you, Draconis? Because I think one of the most disappointing things is that if Chun-Li does not have thick thighs and if they're concealed by pants, that's what we don't want. We don't want that. So, anyway. You need some lunatic trend women to have thick thighs like the chicks in these video games. Yeah, you definitely need some like legit like HGH or some shit. Unless China starts making them with CRISPR or something. There's great cosplayers, but can they fight? Can they act? Can they work well with others? There's so much that goes on in casting. Someone that fits the part and actually brings them life. No, dude, I 100%, man. Like with cosplaying, you're just trying to match the image, right? But to fulfill a role and adapt it well, like it's the chemistry with your other on set actors. It's how well do you translate to film, and much like, oh well, there's cosplayers that make their own videos and take their own pictures. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's different than being in front of a screen and doing it the way, like again, Mel Johnson's doing here with Street Fighter. Like, can you pull off the sexy acting, or can you pull off the acting period? Can you, you know, do you have the chops for it? So yeah, I totally agree. There's definitely a lot more that goes into it. Can you actually do the stunts yourself? So I know like the Rania Vladingham, like she's 100% more than likely going to be doing all of her stunts unless there's something like incredibly dangerous. But I'm more than likely we're going to hear and see like, oh yeah, I did all these stunts except for maybe like one because the director might have said that's too dangerous or we don't want to risk you getting hurt. And more props. Like again, if women can pull off their own stunts for actresses, I'll give you more credit. But then I still give the stunt people, the stunt men and women, you know, a lot of credit for putting their bodies on the line for, you know, in harm's way, just to make a movie. But that works just fine. Bigger. No, but for real, bigger. No. But yeah, we'll see, you know. All in all, I'm definitely going to see this. I don't know what other movies are coming on October, so I think this might be one of those movies that does well in the box office. And same thing, I think Mortal Kombat that comes out in 2 weeks. So what I think I might do is this for for Mortal Kombat. I might go see Mortal Kombat May 7th, which is a Thursday. So may or may not stream that night. We'll see. And then Friday, May 8th, do a stream review on Mortal Kombat. Maybe like no spoilers, unless people want to hear that. But I might do like a video review on Mortal Kombat, and then just, you know, leave it at that with full spoilers. Yo, what's up, Nerdsup? How you doing, brother? But yeah, I think I hope both do well in the box office. You know, I think there's gonna be some campiness. There's gonna be some cheesiness to them both. But yeah, I'm not overly concerned about it either. So I think they'll hit. And just kind of go from there. So, but yeah, I think it's gonna do it. Streamed a little bit longer than I intended, but I had fun. And after a long ass week, and this has been just a fun, topic. You guys have been awesome in chat. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like for real, I do. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I'll probably be around later on the internet tonight. Like I said, I'm gonna have a nice juicy steak.
Gonna have a nice juicy steak, precious. Oh, and then are we gonna have anything to drink? We might fancy ourselves a nice old fashioned, or maybe precious, a nice whiskey sour with a nice little cherry on top.
And then I don't know, might do some gaming. Who knows? Clip that. Mods, clip that. Damn, I don't have a mod in here right now. Waylon left. And where's Modley? Modley's probably working. I'll clip that. And then, yeah, I don't know. I might pop in for like Neon Leon, or who knows? I might want to play some games. It kind of just gave me a thought. What would Sea of Thieves be like that? Hold on. What can I do that? Hold on. I mean, zoom out of YouTube real quick. I have to go to YouTube Studio and then do this. Hold on. All right, Ronan, I just made you a mod. I don't know if you'd review Fetch or not, but yeah, what if Smeagol played Sea of Thieves? What if Smeagol and Gollum were pirates? What would that sound like? My voice is also like kind of shot after talking for 3.5 hours straight, and I have not been drinking enough. I have not been drinking the right liquid to do do Smeagol and Gollum. And my cold brew is all gone now. That would be fun though. I definitely need to do more voice content, or include more voices in content, I should say. But yeah, so I'll be around. And we've got the 50th episode of Masculine Mondays coming up this Monday night, which I need to do some more work on for. We're doing Seven Samurai, Akira Kurosawa, which would be fun. So I've not seen that movie in a while, and it's definitely an amazing movie. So definitely fits the mold. And that was a it popped in my head because I saw in one of my boxes, I have a special, what's it called from it? The special collector's edition. So I was like, we need to cover this movie. That's I'm like, I'm adding it to the list. So make it a sub goal. Like making a sub goal, and I'll do like Gollum Smeagol voices for something.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
Something like that, right?
Avast you swabbies.
Back to work. Later, bro. Yes, I will. As part of my other outside of work to-do list. Yes, I will.
Who knows? It's David Jones, it's precious. David Jones is coming. Captain Jack Sparrow.
Something like that. Who knows? What I should do is like have sub goals for every movie, and then every movie I'll try to do like a Gollum Smeagol impression for said movie of something. Like when we did we're covering the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, even though the movie was not very good. The discussion was, and at the first like hour of the stream, we were just making fun of everything, and it just turned into like the Sean Connery voice expression stream, where like we just talked about what would this movie sound like if we used the Sean Connery's voice, if Sean Connery was this, you know. So then we started like replacing everything with the Sean Connery voice. That was fun. That was better than talking about the movie, ironically, dude. Yeah, like that's what we were kind of like. We're like, we love the movie. It's not very masculine. There were parts of it that we talked about, obviously, but it was just all Sean Connery. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. James Bond 007 GoldenEye. Masters and Commanders. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Okay, clip, both Smeagol's. Nice. Revenge of the Sith. Just like that kind of stuff, you know. But anyway, yeah, I'll have to do more sub goals like that. I don't do any sub goals. I'm a terrible moderator for my own channel. Just kidding. I have fun. And I have fun with you guys. So my stomach is growling.
We are famished, precious. Yes, we are.
I love that part in the Two Towers.
No crunchable bounces. What's taters, precious?
Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Nice brace of conies. Anyway, whenever I do that movie, just know there's going to be a sub goal, and then I'm just going to do the rest of the stream in Gollum and Smeagol. And then there'll be another sub goal to stop it because it might be too much. I don't know. I know the next day I will probably have zero voice, so I might just have to be like, take the day off of work. I'm sick. And then also cancel a Tuesday stream because I will not have a voice. And I'm going to have a lot of beverages to coat the throat. Me and Moss need to have a Gollum off. I don't know if I've heard his Gollum impression before. It's funny though, because I'm not, you know, I'll try to be humble, I guess, and say like I've always heard people said like you do a great Gollum and Smeagol, and I'm like I appreciate it, you know. And then I'll hear like Andy Serkis do one, and I'm just like, what a fucking goat. But also don't make the Hunt for Gollum movie, please. You know, guy just does it so well. It's crazy. But yeah, what's up, Bootzilla? How you doing? Damn, I'm late. I mean, plenty to watch back if you want to go back and watch any of it, Boot, or skim through it. We definitely covered some great stuff though. I talked about you know, Asha for new CEO of Xbox, doing a good job. Hype for that. Halo and the possible extraction shooter that might happen. Talked Black Flag, that whole remake. Talked some Pragmata and the stupid controversy, and people need to just grow up. And then we're talking, just ending it on sexy ladies like Cammy and Thick Thighs Save Lives and Cake and stuff like that. You know, as the person would say,
man talk.
Man talk. So yes. So no, this was fun. Always look forward to these end of the week streams, honestly. Now it's been a nice way to just kind of put a lid on the week and enjoy the weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some food, a little snack before I go to dinner later. I can't fill up on snacks now. because I want to enjoy my steak. I will post a steak online though and make people jealous intentionally. And then you could just live vicariously through me eating protein. Actually, that reminds me, holy shit, I need to go to the gym. Crap. Okay, I need to go get in a quick back or chest session and then go eat. So, Blue, you got plenty to listen to, bro, my brother. So, all right, you guys are awesome. I don't know who else is streaming. Oh, I guess FNT streaming. So, I'm assuming people are trying to hop over there. So, we're just gonna hard end the stream. You guys are awesome. I've enjoyed today. It's been great. I will see you guys Monday night for Masculine Mondays. Akira Kurosawa, Seven Samurai, be there. Mo Zamboni will be the guest on Masculine Mondays this Monday night. So it's going to be a great one. You guys are awesome. Peace. Enjoy your weekend. Stay masculine.